Welcome to the program on this Saturday morning, October 4th. We are live on Facebook and YouTube. Thanks for making us part of your day. Special guest in the house today, Eddie Sierra, diehard Knicks fan, Giant fan, Yankee fan, Columbia soccer fan, and former employee of the CCF joining the show today. Eddie, it's been a minute, man. Welcome to the program on such short notice.
Thank you, brother. It's been nice to see you again. I always run into you at Cheesecake, and it's always love. And we always got that little rivalry between the Eagles and Giants, baby. Let's go. Let's set this off.
Hey, start spreading the news, right? Our Yankees got thrown dirt on after game one, tying the series in game two. And was there any doubt game three? Were you a little nervous going into game three?
I was a little nervous. I'm not going to lie. I'm going to say game one. I think what cost us that game was the coaching.
Yeah.
I haven't been a big fan of Boone's at all. He makes some questionable decisions. I understand the keeping Jazz and my boy was Ben Rice that he kept out.
Ben Rice off the bench.
I understand the lefty versus lefty thing, but I feel like you got to throw your best players out there. And, because game two, we won because of Rice and Jazz. Yes, Jazz, I believe, was like 0 for 4, but he got walked. He ran from first all the way home. Got us that big run.
9 seconds.
I mean? So I trust in the players. It's the coach, man, that had me nervous for game three, man. So I wasn't, obviously you never 100% sure, but I had faith in my guys. And when I knew we had our full squad, then, I believed in them.
For sure.
Yeah, it got me a little nervous for a second.
I mean, game one, Boston was reeling. I was there live and I was like nervous the whole time, but I knew the lefty was tough, man. I knew he was tough. Yeah.
That guy, what's the pitcher's name again?
Yeah,
he was filthy.
Yeah, he was filthy. He was filthy, man.
Filthy.
So I think even Jazz and, maybe Ben Rice was in there, we probably were going to lose that game anyways.
But also, going back to coaching, not to cut you off, but the decision of taking Fried out. Fried was pitching lights out as well.
Right.
Fried
Why not leave Fried in there?
He had a shutout. He had a shutout just as much. You know what I mean? And I understand. Me and my friend were watching it together, and he was talking about all but pitch count once you get to 100. Right. But if you're pitching a shutout, let at least wait till maybe a man or two gets on base and then take him out. Boston, they left their pitcher. You know what I mean? So
I threw 117. 117 he threw.
Exactly. And Fried got taken out right away. So I feel like I said, I don't want to bash Boone too much, but he does that a lot where either he takes guys out that are pitching great and then he leaves guys in too long that aren't pitching great. So, I feel like
Gary Crochet.
That was it, Gary Crochet.
Yeah, right.
I feel like if we don't get a World Series, man, boom, get him out of here. That would be the only reason to keep him.
I think he manages from every season, right? Season to season with Boone, right? Like he's up, he's down, and then last year versus the Dodgers too, man. I'm still having nightmares about that game 5, right?
Oh my God, bro. I still have nightmares about that.
Yeah. Cole not running to first base, Judge dropping the ball, bad throw from Jazz to third. Like we just complete meltdown. In that inning. And we're up by 5 runs, Eddie. Up by 5 runs.
Come on, man. Yeah. We're due one. When was it?
2009, man. 2009.
2009?
Is this the year, man? 16 years in waiting? Is this the year?
You know what? I don't want to say this is the year. I don't feel as confident as I have in previous years just because the NL is so strong.
It is.
I feel like we could run through the AL, you know what I mean? And not to say we're gonna sweep the series against Toronto or whoever comes next, but I feel like we could definitely get through them even if it goes 5. But those Dodgers, man, they're something else, man. You see their payroll; they got all these stars,
never-ending money, man. Yeah, they're loaded up.
They're the Yankees of the 99s and the 2000s.
Yeah, back in the day,
2000s. You know what I mean? So they're tough. So the AL, I'm confident AL, but it's that World Series that will be very tough. But it could be our year, man. We're doing another parade.
Yeah, for sure, man.
Parade in a while, bro.
Oh, your Giants, 2008, your Giants, right? Yeah.
8 was the Giants, and then they also 2011.
2011, yeah.
2007,
2011, yeah.
Did you, not to change the subjects of sports, but did you go to the Philly parade?
No, I was not. I didn't go to both Philly parades, man. I know. I didn't go.
Oh, how you gonna miss that as a diehard, bro?
I know. Story for another day. Man. Story for another day.
Yeah, we'll talk about that another day. Let's keep it on the Yankees for now.
So we lost game 1, and then game 2, I figured Boston, it was 3-3. They were pitching and playing like that was the game 7. They threw everything at us, and we came up with a win, 4-3. So it was 1-1. Going into game 3 seemed like a game 7. And oh, by the way, Cam Schlittler, man. How was Cam Schlittler 12 Ks, Eddie?
You know, I
Imagine
barely
that.
knew this kid. I barely knew this kid. I just heard his name, you know.
Right.
I didn't get to watch all the Yankee games during the regular season. So it surprised everybody, I want to say. The heck out of everybody. 12 Ks and the kid at that age?
Yeah, he was wheeling and dealing from Boston too, right? He was sticking it to him, giving it to him. 8 innings, throwing 100 miles per hour. He was just giving them the heat,
Well, he was
man.
filthy, filthy.
Yeah.
And you heard what he said after they
It was
interviewed him
personal.
after the game.
It was personal.
He said he had, you know, they said something about him being a Boston fan, or all his buddies being a Boston fan. He's like, I'm going to remind them about this win, basically.
Yeah, basically.
That was nasty, man. I did not expect that. I'll be honest with you. I did not expect it. I was hoping for a close game. And look, man, we came out, man, and finally our bats did what they do, because our offense, I've never been worried about. It's our pitching. You know what I mean? So the fact that our pitching did good, and they've been, you know, in the absence of Garrett Cole, our pitchers have been doing all right, man.
That was my next question, because next season Cole's going to come back, right? We have Cole, Rodon, Luis Gil, Warren. I mean, we're going to be stacked. We're stacked for the future. Set up pretty good.
That's what I mean. Like, we're already looking good with the rotation we have. Imagine adding Cole, having that 1-2 punch with Cole and Fried. If Fried keeps pitching the way he pitched this year, that's going to be good. I don't know contract situations with everyone else, if we still have them the same rotation for next year.
Next year, yeah, we're all locked up. And Schlittler's going to be cheap right now, right? For now, he's going to be cheap.
That's
and a healthy Luis Gil, we're going to be all right.
That's going to be a rotation, man. It's going to remind me of,
for sure,
of the 90s.
One of my friends posted a question before I came on here. He's always, was it necessary for the Yankees to celebrate with champagne? I say, heck yes, because you haven't beaten Boston in the playoff series since 2003.
That made it so much more
better, sweeter.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Beating Boston. And it's funny because I saw a lot of Mets fans rooting for Boston.
Yeah,
you know, and I'm like,
haters. Yeah.
I'm like, the Yankee hate is real, brother.
Right.
The Yankee hate is real, you know. But
how much do you sports hate Boston Red Sox? How much do you hate Boston Red Sox?
Here's the thing. I feel like us New Yorkers, we don't hate them as much as they hate us. Because you gotta understand something. People hate teams that are always winning. So if Boston is not always winning, there's nothing to hate. You know what I mean? So I understand why they hate the Yankees, the organization. We have almost 30 championships. What are we at, 27?
28.
28, I'm sorry. Yeah. Chased 28. So I understand why they would hate us. You know, yes, they had that big comeback back in 2004 that, you know, they took that from us. Well, besides that, there's nothing to hate. You know what I mean? People hate on teams that are great. You know what I mean? Like, again, going back to the Eagles, I hate the Eagles because they've recently won Super Bowls as a Giants fan. But if you're not doing good, then what's the reason to hate? You know what I mean?
Sure.
So I don't hate Boston as much, but it's a rivalry.
As a Yankee fan today, in this very moment, how much pain and suffering do you feel for the Met fans and Juan Soto? What would you say to Juan Soto right now?
You know, it's tough because we really wanted to re-sign him. Him and Judge together, that was a nice combination. I'm not going to lie. But I also feel like a lot of his, not to take anything away from the good player he is, but a lot of his success was batting
behind Aaron Judge.
You know what I mean? Because you saw that in the season with the Mets, he didn't have that successful season that he had last year.
And it's funny because he had like 40 home runs, over 100 RBIs, and we're like, didn't really mean much, right? I look at his home runs with like solo shots. I'm like, it's nice, but it's nice, but
you know, like that 1-2 punch was good. But look at what we say. We say what they pay him, like $800 million, almost $1 billion.
Just about, yeah.
You know, under $1 billion they paid him. And look at all the smaller moves we made to guys that all contributed as a team.
Right. We got a bench. We got starting pitching. We got, you know, guys that
exactly.
Play.
And what's
scary about this Yankee team, Eddie? We've relied on a home run for so many years. Now we're hitting singles. We're hitting doubles. We're hitting triples now. Small ball is actually winning right now for the Yankees.
Yes.
You would have thought.
Exactly. Speaking about small ball and hitting home runs, my guy Judge, man, what's up with him in the postseason?
Yeah, he's kind of suspect, man. Going back from the Dodger series, now he's hitting singles. So I'm gonna take a single because last year he was just striking out every time. So I'm gonna take a single or a double right now, or even a walk. I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna take whatever I got as long as he don't strike out.
That guy's the MVP of the regular season, but in the postseason, it's like he falls asleep, man. So let's hope, man, he turns it up today, man. Toronto's not going to be an easy team for us, you know?
Speaking of MVP, you got him or you got Kyle Rowley from Seattle Mariners, man? He got the big dumper hitting 60 home runs out there.
You know what's funny? I didn't even know about that guy not too long ago.
Because all the games at 10 o'clock, we're sleeping at 10 o'clock, right?
That's what I was going to
West Coast,
say.
East Coast, like we don't watch
They're in a
the
smaller
games.
market. They're in a smaller market. You know, we don't see no games with Seattle unless
they're playing the Yankees.
Exactly. So I haven't heard much of him, but you know, the little I did hear about him, I was impressed. I was like, wow, this
His
guy
batting average is like 240s, but judged like 3-something. But I mean, 60
but how many home runs?
60 home runs for a catcher.
And a non-steroid era?
Yeah, that's saying
big.
something. That's saying something.
That's big. How many did Judge do last year?
I think 40s or 50s last year. He kind of fell off because he was kind of hurt last year.
Oh, so the record season was the year before.
The year before that, yeah, exactly. Yep, the year before that.
He hit 60-something
home runs, right. But for a catcher, batting average, but
good for them, you know.
Yeah, might not ever see that again.
But where are they right now?
Well, they are playing right now. They're playing Tigers tonight, later on tonight.
They're playing tonight, right?
Tonight, yeah, the last game.
Detroit is a good team too,
Good team, good pitching as well.
So who do you think will take that series?
Man, I really want to play the Mariners again so we could beat them from way back in the day. Tito Martinez, Jay Bruner back in the 90s.
Speaking of that, you know I was a fan of
Ken Griffey Jr. Really, with the big Randy Johnson. You were a fan of that team?
Jr. Ken Griffey.
Wow.
No, well, kind of like you with LeBron. I had a favorite player, and with the team he played on, I rooted for. So Ken Griffey Jr. was my favorite player growing up. I had all his sneakers, his jerseys. He was sick with it, man. That swing he had for someone that was not as big as Barry Bonds or McGuire, that guy could hit, man. And just unfortunately, injuries played his career where I feel like he could have chased that the home run record.
Back in the day. What a great
but
dude,
yeah,
man.
I wasn't a Seattle fan. I'm not a Seattle fan now, but Ken Griffey Jr., when he was on that team, they're a great team. Him, A-Rod, Jay Buhner, you know, all those guys.
Martinez,
man. They were filthy, man. They were filthy.
How do you see this Toronto series playing out? Best out of 5, right? How do you see this playing out?
I think it could go 5, honestly. I really think it's going to go 5. Our pitching, if they keep it up, we could definitely maybe even do 4.
They beat us in the regular season, but regular season is regular season.
They did. You know, obviously you're always scared of Guerrero. You know, and I feel like he has a chip against the Yankees, just like his father always had. You know what I mean? So Toronto, they're not going to be easy as I'm not even going to say Boston was easy, but they are going to be tougher than Boston. I want to say that.
They got some veteran guys, some guys that can hit. They got pitcher Matt Scherzer. But again, it's the Yankees, right?
It's the Yankees. That's what I was just going to say.
It's the Yankees, man. We're not scared of Toronto. Neighbors of the North. We're not scared of the neighbors of the North.
That swag, bro.
Yeah, we got this.
Come on. And we on fire right now, man. We're on fire right now.
Playing really good ball right now.
We're going to go in confident. We're going to go
I think we got hot at the right time, Eddie. The last couple of weeks, we got hot at the right time, I think. And momentum carrying into the postseason,
Momentum definitely makes a big difference, you know what I mean?
For sure.
In the postseason, especially, you know?
Because I'm sitting there a couple days in the summertime, I'm like, this team is trash. Like, here we go again. And then we're like losing, and we're like 3rd place, 2nd place. I'm like, oh my goodness, just get us to the postseason. Lo and behold,
are we going to be disappointed again? You know, it's like that question. But that last game, man, we made a statement. And like you said, we're going into this series with momentum. So I'm confident, man. I'm confident we're taking a 4, maybe 5.
Yankees in 5. When was your first Yankee game, and how did you become a fan of the Yankees?
Oh, that's a good question. I can't remember, be honest with you, my first Yankee game.
Okay.
But just growing up, just having all my friends, us growing up, playing baseball, you know, it was just like automatic. You know, you're from New York, you root for the Yankees. I've always been diehard every New York team. Giants, Yankees, Knicks, and even the Rangers. Even though I'm not as much into hockey, I even still root for them. So it's just, you know, just growing up in New York, seeing the NY on the hats, it was like I just automatically, you know, by default became a Yankees fan. That's how I feel.
I know Aaron Boone drives us crazy, right? A lot of analytics, a lot of numbers in the game. Baseball's all about numbers. But sometimes I just want him to just maybe listen to your heart, listen to your gut, listen to your feelings, your instincts, right?
Do you feel like he feels, or do you think he feels he's on the hot seat?
I think he does the time because New York, right? The biggest market, the Yankees, you got to feel that. I think that game 3 a couple of nights ago, like that was like the end of the road for him. It seemed like, you know what I mean? So I just want him to go by his feeling more than his gut instead of like just numbers all the time, man. It just drives us
And
crazy.
that's what baseball has been going into, you know what I mean? And like I
Analytics,
said,
yeah.
the whole thing with the lefty, I say put your best player out there. Yes, you do see the pitch later when, the lefty comes out and you're a lefty, but screw all that. Like you said, go with your gut feeling, go with who you think is hot right now, who's playing best. And it's just some decisions he makes that really affect the game and some losses that we've had.
Like putting, instead of going with Hill last year versus the Dodgers, he puts dude that got traded to the Brewers, right? Lefty.
The what's his name? No,
I'm drawing a blank right now, but you know what I'm talking about, right? Yeah,
not
he put him in there, and Cortez, Nestor, nasty
Cortez.
Nestor,
I
nasty
wanted to say,
Nestor.
is it the Mexican? But I think he's actually Cuban. But yes,
Yeah,
Nestor Cortez.
Nestor
And he just
Cortez.
came back from injury. He
That's what I'm
just came
saying.
back from
You
injury.
had
That was
Tim
his
Hill that was
first
hot,
game.
wheeling and dealing. Why would you put him in there and not spot to Freddie Freeman? First pitch
Because
grand slam, game's over. Like, come
a guy
on, go with your feeling.
that had every Yankees fan so
We never
upset,
recovered.
bro.
We never recovered from that.
Never, bro.
We never
I
recovered.
still, like we said, we still have nightmares about that.
Yeah, for sure.
That was our big shot, man. To win the World Series again and to win it against the best team, I think, in baseball, that are the Dodgers.
For sure.
You know what I mean? That would have been so big, bro.
They're the champions. We got to respect them until we knock them off the porch. But Boone, just go by your gut, go by your heart, go by your feeling. The numbers, they're nice, but you can't judge numbers. You can't judge.
Can we send this
gut.
link to Boone? Let's send this link to Boone after the
Yankee
interview.
fans, right?
Let's send this.
Yeah.
Let's spam him. Let's do whatever it takes.
Boone,
man.
we love you, but just go by your heart, go by your feeling,
man.
go by your gut.
Boone,
man.
You were a great player for us. You won. I forgot how many chips that he was actually on the team, but you won championships with us as a player, bro. We respect you. Let's bring it back, man. Let's bring it back to that era. You know what I mean?
I know you like your boy Ben Arroz. I love that post, man. Who's your favorite current Yankee on this team right now?
Man, it's hard, bro. It's so many. Obviously, Judge, you got to go with him. Well, he's our captain. He's the MVP. You can't go wrong. I like Jazz's swag. You know what I mean? I like the energy he brings. He brings some good energy to the team. Again, Ben Arroz.
I saw that. I was dying. I'm like, this makes perfect sense.
We always got to throw in a little Spanish twist.
For sure.
Like Aaron Judge, we call Aaron Juez.
Aaron Juez
is Judge.
Nice.
Juez is Judge Spanish.
Nice.
And Ben Arroz, I know you saw the interview of him,
He speaks good Spanish also, too. Yeah, he's good, man.
Yeah, so
really good in Spanish.
It's a collectively like a team thing, but I would say those probably like the top 3 players that I go with.
You prefer the old Yankee Stadium or new Yankee Stadium?
The old Yankee Stadium, by far. The new Yankee Stadium, I feel like it's more like a business stadium.
Museum.
That's where you take potential clients to go see the games. And, not to bring out across-town rivals, but I feel like Mets Stadium, whatever it's called, the Citi Field, is more family-oriented stadium.
Like a baseball stadium,
They have things for the kids. I remember I took my son there. Actually, I think I got free tickets from Cheesecake one time. That's the only reason I went to a Mets game. I wouldn't buy Mets tickets. But I think
just throwing it out there. Just throwing it out there.
Yeah, we got free tickets. What was the manager we worked with, man? The Italian guy. He was real cool, man. I liked it. JR gave us tickets to a Mets game. And I took my son. And because that was his first game at, a young age, he actually became a Mets fan over the Yankees, bro. You believe that? So I took him there, and they have actually like a small diamond, when you're walking by the food areas where the kids could actually run around the diamond, act like they're batting and everything. So, I feel like that's more of like a family, a nice stadium. But as far as the team goes, we're not rooting for the Mets. It's all Yankees, baby.
Mets got some good food at the Mets Stadium too. City Field got some good food.
They have some great food. That's what I'm saying. The stadium, I like their stadium better. I'm not gonna lie, but the team, Yankees all the way, baby.
You ever got into any fights of the game? Any crazy things you said to like opposing teams' fans? Anything crazy that stood out to you?
Not me, but I've seen some things go down. I've actually had a.
I know you can get a little rowdy. I know you can get a little rowdy at games.
It can get rowdy. I've seen, especially with the Boston fans, I've been in the bleachers. I've witnessed Yankee fans throwing beer on the Red Sox players, and they're just there. I mean, on it. I actually seen a funny video of a friend of my girlfriend's actually, and she was in the stadium arguing with someone and got into a fight, a scuffle with with one of the opposing team's fans. A lot of things go down, you know what I mean? I try to respect the opposing team. I could talk a little shit here and there, but not to take it as far as actually harming someone unless it's
Getting
warranted.
arrested or go crazy
Yeah,
like
you
that.
know what I
Yeah.
mean? I let them rock, you know what I mean? I'll talk shit though. I'll
Right.
talk a lot of shit. But yeah, I'm pretty sure you've seen stuff too, you know what I mean? It goes on. But I feel like us as Yankee fans, well, we won't cross that line. We won't cross that boundary for the most part. As opposed as to us going to someone else's stadium, they really go hard. We have a little class.
A little class in New York, a little class.
A little class.
Who's your top 5 Yankee players of all time? Top 5. Who's in your wheelhouse?
Top 5. Jeter, number 1. Don't even got to go with, don't even have to think about that one. That's tough. A lot of guys from the younger days, from the earlier days, if I remember growing up. Wow, you give me a second, man.
All right, I'll help you out. Mariano on there? Mariano on that
Oh,
list?
hell yeah, Mariano, definitely.
Okay,
Jeter, Mariano, most definitely.
A-Rod on that list? Mattingly on that list? Don
I
Mattingly?
wasn't. I'm gonna put Bernie. I'm gonna put Bernie.
Bernie on that list?
I love
Okay.
Bernie Williams. He's actually in White Plains a lot. I'm pretty sure he's walked in a cheesecake, no?
I've seen him with his guitar and stuff. I've seen him over
Yeah,
the years.
I actually seen him playing his guitar on the
Yeah.
Ave, you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I know he's
Yeah.
around the area. So Mariano, Bernie. I'm trying to think of maybe
Jeter.
a little bit of the newer Yankees.
Judge, you gotta put Judge
I
in
might
there.
have to throw Judge on there.
Okay, that's
Judge
4.
on there.
We got 4.
I'm trying to think another pitcher, maybe. That's tough.
Andy Pettitte, CC Sabathia.
CC. Yeah, man. On and off the field. On and off the field, he's a class act, man. He does a lot for the community, CC most definitely. What about, let me hear your list.
Man, my list, let me go. You got to put Jeter on there, right? Jeter on there, Mariano on there, Judge on there. Man, it's a lot of good guys over the years, man. Man, I'm rocking with Paul O'Neill, man.
Paul O'Neill. That was a good one.
Warrior. Paul was a warrior.
That's
man.
a good one.
Paul was a warrior. Man. And this guy was really good pitcher. Never heard a peep from him. Did his thing day in and day out. Mike Mussina, man. Mike Mussina.
I remember Mussina. I remember Moose.
Yeah,
you know who gets honorable mention for me, actually? Matsui.
Yeah, Matsui. Okay.
Matsui came up big for us in that postseason. I forgot exactly which year, but he came up big for us.
And then we can't forget the old guys too, but we didn't see them play like the Mantles of the world, the Maggios, Yogi Berra,
we didn't get to see them play.
Babe Ruth. We didn't get to see them play. We respect them, Whitey Ford. So we're not disrespecting the old heads, but we're just going by
we weren't
what
there.
we've seen, and we weren't there. We respect the history of the game,
but we grew up in the 90s, you know what I mean? So we remember those teams. Those are the teams I remember seeing, man, as a kid.
Man, this got to be the year, Eddie. This got to be the year. Every year is our year, right? This has got to be the year, man.
25 World Series, man. You see the hat right here, right?
I seen that. Yeah, fire.
That's the goal right there. World Series.
That's it. Every year is a championship. Every year, championship or bust. That's the Yankee standard.
We have to.
Yeah.
Again, not to speak bad on upper management, but I feel like, man, the old man wouldn't let this go down. Wouldn't let this drought happen.
Yeah, rest in peace, George. Yeah.
Rest in peace, George.
He didn't like to lose, man.
He did not like to lose. He would do whatever it took. And I'm not trying to bash his kids, because I know they took over the team. But the big man wouldn't have stood for this, man. He wouldn't have stood for almost 20 years of not having another ring. You know what I mean?
Sure.
So hopefully he's watching over this postseason, man. And we come up with a big championship this year, man, because we got to go to the parade.
Yeah, for sure. Talks on the Knicks, man. Are they finally back? Your New York Knicks.
Our Knicks been back since last year, maybe even the year before. But here's the difference this year. The East is going to be a smoother ride now in the playoffs.
A lot of injuries, right?
A lot of injuries. We have, what was it, Tatum out for the season?
Tatum is out. Hallie's out, right.
Halliburton's out. And
Dame is out. But
Dame is out.
Down. Yeah.
And I believe even Boston blew up half the team. You know
a lot of guys got traded.
They got, I think KP's out and someone else is also gone. But so I think we're gonna have an even easier road, barring injuries, or just like the other teams got their star players hurt. Hopefully that doesn't happen to us. But man, I think it's gonna look good for us this season, man. Like I said, barring injuries, we have a great chance.
You fired Tibbs, right? So how far can they go this season? Do they have to make it back to the Eastern Conference Final to make it a wash, or anything less than that is a failure?
Firing Tibbs, man, that was tough because he got us far.
First time
He
in
got us
20 in
far.
25 years.
But I think with that starting lineup that we had, we were expected to go far. You know what I mean? Those were all all-stars or former all-star players just in the starting lineup alone. If I'm not mistaken, Jalen Brunson. I'm pretty sure Mikal Bridges has been an all-star, correct? Correct me if I'm wrong. Not sure with the Nets, or maybe a reserve.
Might have been off the reserve or a bench player or something like
Carl
that.
Anthony Towns, Mitchell Robinson wasn't, but he was hurt most of the season. But, that starting lineup is scary. Their starting line was scary. What it was that I feel like our bench wasn't as deep. We
Sure.
picked up Jordan Clarkson. That's going to give us some energy, some fire. We have Deuce. Deuce always brings that energy as well. So I think I'm expecting a great season, man. 50 wins at least, 50 plus wins. What do you think?
Getting back to the Eastern Conference Finals, because I think if they don't get back, it's kind of a failure, right? You bring Mike
For
Brown in
sure.
here, you got to get back. That's the bar. The bar's been set now, right? Is either Eastern Conference Finals or is a failure.
Or bust, man. That run we had last year, bro, that was so epic, man. Did you see the city every day the Knicks played?
I saw you in those outside parades. I saw you outside.
I was at all those watch parties, bro.
I saw it. I seen it.
The energy was crazy, bro.
Yeah.
The energy was ridiculous, man. Like,
you like the Cat trade? I know he frustrates the Knicks fans at times. Cat, the defense, right? Offensively, he's a great player. You like the Cat trade?
I do. It brought a different element, especially from a big man, knowing he could, pop threes. Again, the defense is a little lackadaisy sometimes, but he brings a different element. And, the offense now is not just relying on mainly Jalen Brunson. Now you could also put that on the shoulders of Cat, or when Jalen's taking a break, put it on him. So I do like the trade. Trade I wasn't so happy about was the Mikal Bridges. Mikal Bridges. Not because he's not a good player, but we gave up so much for a player that's basically our third, sometimes fourth option.
Right.
I feel like he had a way better season with the Nets, but that's because he was their main option. He has to be that guy. So him falling back and now having to be like our third at best option, he's not as productive. So that one, we gave up a lot of first rounders for him. So that one I wasn't too happy about. Like I said, I'm a big fan of his. I think he's a great player, but just what we gave up in terms of, I wasn't a huge fan of that.
Getting him. How much you hate to see Randall get traded and DiVincenzo get traded?
You know what? We had to give up Randall to get Cat. So I understood that. It was actually tougher getting rid of DiVincenzo to me. Even though Randall by far is a greater player, he was actually an all-star player. And DiVincenzo was more of a off the bench player. But man, just having that option to just get the big three when you needed it, man. And then the Philly boys, the Villanova boys, man.
Yeah.
Those together was fun to watch, man. It was fun to watch.
Sad he had to break him up. Yeah, it was fun.
And come on, look at the big three he hit against Philly.
Crazy.
To get
in that playoff. Yeah, ridiculous.
He was. I called him Shooter McGavin because he was a shooter, man. He was a shooter. I call it Shooter McGavin. So that was tough, man. I hope is somehow they could get him back, man. On the Randall trade, he wasn't a big defensive player neither, but he had a great season in Minnesota. I'm happy for him. I didn't dislike him. He gave us everything he had. I believe he made the All-Star as a Knicks player as well. Hats off to him. But getting Cat, he's a better player overall, I think.
Jalen Brunson, fantastic player, right? But at times, he dribbles the ball a lot, then he kicks it out. Frustrating at times. How would you tell Jalen Brunson he can get better? Any advice for Jalen Brunson going into this year?
Besides the obvious, like you said, dribble a little less. And if you're going to distribute the ball, do it with more time on the clock. So we're not just having to, shoot a contested shot right when the shot clock is winding down. So he definitely needs to try to get his teammates more involved in that. Because, like you said, at times he'll dribble a lot, see if he has somewhere to go. And then when he has no more options or, they double team him, he kicks it out and not much time. So just try to do that, but in quicker fashion, basically. That's what I would tell him.
Him and Cat, you like them together? Because sometimes it seems like the offense gets kind of stagnant. They don't play well together. Am I bugging? How do you feel about that?
They do get a little stagnant. I like them off the pick and roll, if they do that a little more, just because, like I said earlier, Cat could pop a three as well. So, off the pick and roll, or Brunson could go to the basket. And we all know he's fearless. He may not be a big guy, but he'll go to the basket. He'll get bumped. He'll get knocked down, and he get right back up. So him with Cat off the pick and roll, I like that. But as far as like getting stagnant, I have seen the offense at times get like that, especially when the opposing coach, puts in the defensive scheme to, stop them. So I mean, I think Mike Brown I think he's done good with some offensive players. He's had LeBron, actually, I think twice, right? With Cleveland
Mike
and the
Brown,
Lakers.
Cleveland, the Lakers. Yep. Yep.
So, hopefully he brings, some offense, and we light up the garden this year, bro. Let's get it.
Who's coming out of the East and onto the finals, man? Who's coming out of the East?
The Knicks,
This
baby. Who
moment
else?
today. Okay. All right.
The Knicks,
All right.
baby. Who else? I
Okay.
mean, who else do you see? I just said everyone else is hurt. Cleveland, they showed they were the best team in the regular season, and what happened in the postseason?
Hurt. Giannis, the Bucks,
Giannis
Magic
and the
got
Bucks.
better, but
Honestly, Giannis might get traded before the midseason.
yeah, you never know. He might get
It
traded.
doesn't look like he wants to be there,
might.
man. So, man, I think
Sometimes it's like, do
man,
you really want to be there? You want to be there, so
I
no
think the
Hallie.
Knicks have the
So
best chance, man. And honestly, I haven't been paying attention to any other teams' offseason moves, but I definitely think the Knicks, man, we have the best chance. Barring injuries, I think we're the best team in the East right now.
could the Knicks had won a championship in the 90s? That team was certainly stacked, right? The Knicks.
Oh my God, let's go there, man. Let's go there.
Well, or was Jordan? Jordan was the main guy that pretty much had you guys
that's
on
exactly what I
lockdown.
was gonna bring, man. That's what I was gonna bring up. Kind of like what LeBron did, during his prime. Jordan stopped a lot of great players from getting championships. That '94 season,
Miller,
well, actually,
Barkley, Malone. Jordan was just, doing his thing.
Jordan was in the way of everyone. We had a shot. I remember we went to the finals against the Houston Rockets, and that Olajuwon, though, man, he was something else.
94 squad. And then they cut to the OJ trial, right? The OJ was on the freeway.
Yeah.
They cut to that. So I'm like, what happened?
That series, I think that was our best shot, that 94 season. It was 94, because then I believe the
94.
Magic. Houston went 2 years in a row, 1 year against the Knicks, 1 year against the Magic. So, and I was also a Magic fan because of Penny Hardaway, but we'll get to that another time. But so Houston, that series against the Knicks, man, that was just like
Starks with
that was
for 17.
Yeah, he went bad. He did bad, man, and we had Ewing, we had those guys, man, but just Olajuwon and the.
Think about Ewing just missing that finger roll right now in the Garden. I'm just thinking about that. Like how, certain plays just stick with you, right? Forever and ever, right? Like it never goes away. Sports pain, right? I call it sports pain.
I still see that memory in my head. And it's like you couldn't dunk the ball, but at that time, he was already in the league for 10 years. His knees were shot. So I get it. But any other big man, you bring that down. You bring the rim down on that. You know what I mean?
Dunk it. Why are you going for a layup?
Yeah, man, that was terrible, bro. And before you move on, that was 94, 95. If you remember, we also went in 99 against the Spurs. We went to the finals as well without Ewing. We had to face the Twin Towers, Duncan and Robinson.
And David Robinson, yep.
And we only had Camby and Kurt Thomas. Those were our big men to try go and outperform those two guys. And, we did it, man. I think we went as an A seed that year, actually.
Yeah.
With Spreewell, I believe Charlie Ward, Chris Childs. We had a team.
Nobody was beating that 99 squad. The Spurs.
Nobody was beating that Spurs team, you know what I mean? But those were our two shots in the 90s, man.
It's funny because Jordan retired 97, 98 because he wanted to come back. So you might have had the Bulls versus Spurs. You never know how that series was going to pan out.
That would have been interesting.
Maybe Jordan could have been 6-1,
And he still had it because he came back to the Wizards.
Yeah.
And then he still had it. You know what I mean? So
for sure.
Who knows what could have happened there. But yeah, since then, the Knicks for the next 15 years were non-existent as far as winning.
Speaking of Penny Hardaway too, right? Is that your all-time favorite
My
point
favorite
guard?
player.
And
Yes.
those commercials, those penny commercials with Chris Rock,
Yes.
right? Like,
Yes. Little Penny.
how iconic are those commercials?
Yo, those commercials were something else, man. Having Chris Rock do the voice of Little Penny, man,
Hilarious.
I wish the kids nowadays could see those commercials because
Yeah,
I'm
they don't
pretty
make
sure
them
they know
like that no
nothing
more.
about it.
They don't make them like that no more.
And that era was ridiculous. Like going back to Ken Griffey, it was Ken Griffey Jr. in baseball and Penny Hardaway in basketball. The swag those two players had and the talent that they had was just something new to that age. You know what I mean? They brought something new to the leagues that they respectfully played in. So Penny Hardaway, man, I had his sneakers, his jersey. I still have the Penny Hardaway sneakers in every color right now. If I showed you my sneaker
Really?
collection, you know what I mean?
Man.
So I was a huge Penny Hardaway fan, and just like Ken Griffey Jr., barring injuries, I feel like would have been a Hall of Fame, you know, a player to go down as one of the greatest. Because Penny Hardaway, man, to be a point guard at 6'7", 6'8", be able to move like that, shoot, dribble, man. If Shaq would have stayed in Orlando, who knows how many championships they would have won.
Man, his passing ability to Shaq. That team was stacked too, man. You had Penny on there. You had Nick Anderson, Dennis Scott,
Horace Grant came out from the Bulls.
That was like a big five right there. Those guys were stacked.
Most definitely.
Stacked.
And they like we're going back to the Houston Rockets. They stopped them from getting the championship. But again,
Swept
Penny
them.
and
They were young. They were young.
Penny and Shaq were young. I was just gonna say
Yeah.
that. Penny and Shaq were young, you know what I mean? They needed to go through that. But I feel like if they would have stuck together in the next year or two, they would have had a championship.
Who you can't stand the most? Trae Young or Hallie? So you Nick fans respect Trae Young, right? But they hate Halliburton. Is that it?
No, I don't respect Trae Young at all, man. You know, it's like the chance word, fuck Trae Young. But here's the thing. So we were saying how I was at the watch parties. The guys start chanting, fuck Trae Young, fuck Trae Young. I'm like, Trae Young's not even in the playoffs. Again, Kenford, what did I just say in the beginning of the podcast? You hate teams that are great. You hate players that are great, that are doing well right now. The Hawks weren't even in the playoffs, so I'm not hating Trae Young. Yes, he did have some filthy games against the Knicks. And those games, I was really hating him because not only did he play
Roll the
good,
dice on y'all, you know?
shit, but he was talking shit. You know what I mean? So, but again, Tyrese Halliburton, he actually did us filthy in the playoffs. You know what I mean?
That shot going up like that and coming down in the cup, like that's not supposed to happen, right? That's the stuff you play on the playground of video games, right? Like
that looks like the Kawhi Leonard shot to win the
that ball was still up there. Like it's still up there. Like how was that
still up there to this day, bro?
It's crazy, bro.
Like come on now. So I would say Halliburton. You know, I don't want to say hate a strong word, but I despise more than Trae Young because Trae Young did in the regular season. Halliburton did in the postseason where, you know, it really counts. And this was really his coming out year for the postseason, I believe, because before this, I was like, I slept on him. He's one of the most underrated players. I'm not going to lie. You know?
The players did vote him the most underrated player in the NBA. NBA players voted, right? If you own peers,
overrated, wasn't it?
Overrated. Yeah,
exactly. Because after this postseason or after this regular season, everyone was like, "Come on, he's not that." And even me, I was one. He's not that good. But you know what? He made me eat some of those words for those games. He really stepped up. But then one game, he had like only 7 points. So it's like consistency is the biggest thing,
for sure.
You know.
All right, let's play this game again, right? Top 5 Knicks players of all time. Who's in your wheelhouse? Top 5 Knicks players.
Patrick Ewing, John Starks, Charles Oakley, Carmelo Anthony. That's 4, man. I don't want to round it out just with that 90s squad. You know what? At my 5, I'm going to put Amari Stoudemire.
That? Really?
Yeah. My reason for that is he came to the Knicks when nobody was coming to the Knicks. You know, we were bad for so many years.
He had some good years in Phoenix with Steve Nash, and he came over.
Exactly. He came over as a free agent, came alone. We had, at best, you know, players that weren't all-stars at all. Just, what do you call it? Players that just like, you know, okay, basically.
Yeah, so players, 6 man of the years. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah,
of
course.
And he came and he put New York Knicks on his back. He put the Knicks on his back, and I respect him for that. And then when Melo saw what he did, that's why Melo was like, I don't think Melo would have came if the team was how they were before Stat. So that's why I put Stat on there. You know what I mean? Because he came to the Knicks and made them rise to prominence again in a way. You know, we had a 50-win season. I believe we lost to, what was it, Boston in the playoffs in 2011, 2012. We had a great squad, bro. A.R. Smith, you know, Jeremy Lin. We had a nice little squad. So that's why I put Stat there as fifth.
Who's your sixth man? Is Brunson right there, like the fifth, going on six, if he keeps this going?
Yeah, you know what? I would put Brunson there. Yeah, because he's another one that he came here, you know, and he put the team on his back as well. You know, he came, the Knicks weren't doing as great. He was like, I'm gonna go to the Knicks. We got him for cheap, a bargain deal, you know, and look, man, now we rose to prominence again. So most definitely Brunson would be the honorable mention or the sixth man there.
If you had a question to tell Spike Lee or ask Spike Lee, what would you ask Spike?
Spike, can I sit courtside with you? That'd be my first question. And my second question would be, can you please stop getting these players riled up? For real, man.
Reggie
Those
Miller,
guys
right? Goes back in the 90s, right?
come on, man. Reggie Miller killed us, man. And Spike, I feel, is to blame for that. You know what I mean? You don't get a player like that riled up. Like you see some players, they feed off of that, you know, and they do better off
That
of that.
energy. Yeah, that energy.
That's why they say Jordan used to talk shit to everybody. He wants you to talk it back. Oh, yeah? Oh, yeah? All right, let me bust your ass for 50.
Sure.
You know, so yeah, that's what I would ask Spike.
What would you say to the current Knick owner, James Dolan? Let Oakley back
Sell
in
the
the
team.
building.
Sell the team.
How about let Oakley back in the building, too?
Number one, but sell the team, bro. You're not a sports fan. You're a business guy. You're in it for the money. You're in it. We could tell, bro. You're not a Jerry Jones owner. You're not a, you know, one of those owners that are diehard actual fans. He's not. I know that, you know, he owns Cablevision, you know, so it's like you're not a diehard fan. We all know that. So please get out, man. The decisions you make, bro, hasn't had this team doing great in so many years, bro. Sell the team. And on top of that, man, garden prices are the highest they ever been.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. The fans, who cares about the fans, right?
Of course not,
People gonna
man.
show up anyway, right? New York is New
Of
York.
course.
Bunch of
Of course.
visitors, people that come from overseas.
People come to New York just like they go see the Statue of Liberty. They got to go to Madison Square Garden. So people are going to go regardless. But ticket prices are outrageous. But that's in every sport, so we're not even going to get into that.
NBA Finals matchup this day today. A lot of things can change, right? Who do you got going through the finals next season?
New York Knicks out the East. Let's go. Out the West. I don't know. You might have to help me on this. Who was
Man, the West
who
is
was in the
stacked,
Western
man.
Conference? You
You
got
got
Denver Nuggets.
OKC stacked, Denver stacked, the
KC
Rockets are
won it.
stacked. Minnesota's up there
I
too.
think I got OKC at Denver.
OKC until proven guilty, right?
You know,
Okay.
you got my boy, man, Jokic.
Yeah, the Joker's
Jokic
good.
there, man.
Yeah.
Jamal Murray. If they keep that same team, they still got MJP.
Yeah.
What's this guy? Was it number 50? Aaron Gordon. You know, you got a nice little squad over there, man. And if you keep that together, I know they got bounced, you know, a little earlier than people expected. And then just OKC, you can't sleep on them. I slept on them last year.
Yeah, SGA is good, man.
That
SGA is good.
SGA is filthy, bro.
Really
You know,
good.
so I take the Knicks against either the Nuggets or OKC in the finals.
Few quick NBA question before we shift over to the Giants. How will history and you remember Kobe Bryant?
Well, first of all, the longevity he had, man. Like, I feel like he was here for our generation and even the younger generation. Number one, I'll tell you in the beginning, in the early days, I despised him, and just like I despised Jordan. You know why? Because they were great players. Some might call them ball hogs, you know, which, you know, I've never been a big fan of in basketball, being a ball hog. So I despise him, but why? Because he was good. He was great. You know, nobody's going to hate on someone that's not good. People hate on you when you're great, you know, just like I said earlier in the interview. So, you know, in the beginning, I wasn't a big fan of his. The more years that went on, I started to respect his game a lot and saying, you know, I still hate him, but you got to respect the game. You know what I mean?
Sure.
So the game he brought, the number one thing you hear, bro, was the time he put in, man. He was up at 3 a.m. every day training. He was not going to the clubs like all the other players. He was not, you know, known to be around all these women. I mean, he had the little scandal that happened in Colorado. Besides that, you know, so that legacy, and I remember Melo saying, when they were in the Olympics, Kobe was training, I believe, around 4 a.m. in the gym, or they ran into the lobby, and they were just coming from the club. So that was the difference. Carmelo and the rest of the players were coming from the club at 4 a.m., and they ran into him going to train at 4 a.m. And then a few days later, or maybe even the next day, I believe Carmelo said, they started training with him at 4 a.m. So he set the tone. And just like Jordan, how they said Jordan could be an asshole teammate. Why? Because they want everyone to train and try as hard as they're trying. So that's something that will always stick with me, about Kobe Bryant, man. He left a legacy on so many players, so many people, and just even what he did after basketball, man, mentoring even the young female players. I think it was Sabrina that was really close with him.
Yeah, Sabrina. Yeah, a lot of females
were. And that he's also had an
impact. A lot for
on
women's basketball. Yeah.
So, man, rest in peace, Kobe, man. Hearing that news was terrible, man, But just got to keep the Black Mamba legacy alive. That's it, man. So respect to him.
Thoughts on LeBron? How will you remember LeBron?
Yeah.
I had to ask this question. I had to.
Again, never been a fan of his. Gotta respect the game. Gotta respect the game. He's great. He's what you call a complete player. Points. He could when, especially in his prime, score at will. You know what I mean? Score at will. But he didn't want to. He wanted to be a facilitator. He wanted to be like a Magic Johnson type player. But when the team needed him, he could score at will. Sometimes he shied away at the end of games, which is what they were criticizing him for not taking the big shot. A few times he's gave up the ball, not because I feel like he was scared, but because he liked to, get his team involved. He's had a lot of success. He stopped players from winning chips, or at least going to the finals, excuse me. But can we bring up the debate?
I mean, Jordan or LeBron? I'll ask the question.
Jordan. Who are you going with?
Going with LeBron. I love Jordan, but I got to go with I never seen a player like Bron, man. The points, the longevity, year 23, playing at a high level. I wish he won more championships, though. I wish he won a little bit more championships. Steph Curry happened, right?
Do you think that takes away from his legacy? Because what is he, 50%? What is he? 3 for 6, or how many he has?
4 and 6, 4 and 4 and 6, 4 and 6.
4 out of 6.
A little bit, not by much, because the great Jerry West, the logo was 1. Yeah, the great, Jerry West is 1 and 8, right? He's the logo of the league, right?
Shit.
I just wished he went a little more. Maybe one more.
One more. I gotta check.
He should have. He should. It's okay. He should have. He should have been. He should have beaten the Mavs that year. 2011 still haunts me as a big LeBron fan. He should have beaten the Mavs.
That was definitely a team effort.
And he should have beaten the Warriors at least one more time to make it, 6 for 6. But I mean, they're both great players, man. They're both really, really great players. I saw Jordan play back in the 90s. You did too. A lot of kids didn't. They got to go on YouTube now. So we saw LeBron play from 2003 now. So the debate is always going to go on. They're both great in their own way. But, I've seen more LeBron games than Jordan games.
Of course. So, here's my thing. The stats aren't going to always matter. You know what I mean? Kareem Abdul-Jabbar had the most points. That doesn't mean he's the greatest player ever. You know what I mean?
And Russell had the most rings. Doesn't mean he's the greatest player ever, right?
Exactly.
12 rings for the Celtics. Right.
So here's one thing why I think a lot of people say Jordan, because of the killer instinct he had. And in sports, we like that. You know what I mean? Which LeBron lacks. Someone who came kind of close to the killer instinct.
He's a passer. He'll pass the ball, right?
And someone who had the killer instinct of another player was Kobe Bryant. He had that in him, that where they feel like LeBron is more like he doesn't have that. And maybe it's just the era now where they were saying that now all the players are best friends and, they all want to be applauding each other, where back then they weren't doing that. You were my enemy. So maybe that makes a difference. But again, I can't take none away from LeBron, man. To me, he's a top 3 of all-time player. I want to put him as the best, but he's a top 3 player. And, my hat's off to him, even though never been a fan of his. And he spurned the Knicks that year going to Miami. He's one of those guys you hate when he's not on your team, but if he's on your team, you welcome him.
You love him.
You know what I mean?
For sure.
So that's how I feel about LeBron.
Will we ever see another player like Allen Iverson?
When we say like him, do we mean his rawness, just his style of play?
Style of play.
I don't think we will, man. It's crazy because I didn't think you were going to go there, because I feel like he's a little slept on. He doesn't have rings. He's not there as the top 5 player in points,
What he did
anything
on the
like
court,
that.
man, can't take that away from him.
But he definitely changed the game. You know, he changed the game in so many ways. I remember then they even came out with the Iverson rule, you know, with the
dress code. The dress code.
No,
No
not just
do-rags,
I
no
mean,
this, no that.
I meant the carry. Because remember, he used to have that
Yeah.
crossover, and he would
He
pull it
crossed over
out.
Jordan, right? He crossed him up, right? Don't forget that in Philly.
Exactly.
He crossed him and he hit the shot.
So then they
Top of the
started
key.
messing with him and calling that. Oh, that was an epic moment, actually. You know, when I saw that, and the thing is, you gotta finish with the shot, and he made it.
Got to,
How
and he
many
made it.
times we see someone do a nice crossover, break someone's ankles, and then they miss the shot, so it's not as memorable. So that will always be in everyone's minds, whoever was around in that era. But Iverson, man, he was something else, man. I'm sad to see he never won a championship. He put that Philly team on his back, though. He did what like LeBron did when he went to the finals with that Cleveland squad when he
2001,
was
he
young.
stepped over Ty Lue. Yeah.
You know, he did that with Tyrone Hill, with who was Aaron McKee, guys that were like old Mutombo that was out of his prime.
Larry Hughes, yeah,
You know,
Mutombo,
so he
yeah.
did that with a team. He shouldn't have went there, man. He was
Eric
averaging
Snow.
like almost 40 points a game in the playoffs, man. He was doing that, all that 6 feet, 165 soaking wet. You know what I mean? So my hats go off to Allen Iverson, man. Sometimes he doesn't get the respect he deserved, but I'm glad you brought him up, man, because he was filthy during his day, man. Everybody wanted to be like Iverson.
If you were NBA commissioner for a day, what would you change about the game? 1 or 2 things you would change today.
I would stop the what do they call it? Something management. You know, when they take off a day or 2 or
yeah, time
what
management.
Is that?
Yeah,
time management.
Time management. Yeah.
You know, because someone had brought up a good point. I forgot, you know, who said it, but you know, what if you're a fan? You saved up all your money to go to a game to see your favorite player, and then you find out he's not hurt, but he's just taking off because he's tired or something. Or you try load management. That's what it is.
Load management. Load management.
Like, you know, so that's one thing I would change because they didn't have that back then. And
guys
also,
playing
man,
all the time, banged up, hurt, whatever. They didn't miss games back then, right?
Exactly, bro. Come on, you getting paid
soft,
million, and now they're getting paid double, triple what they were getting paid back in the day. You know what I mean? So come on now, I would get rid of that. And number 2, going back to like what you said, play it soft. Stop calling every ticky-tack foul, man. Stop. I'm not saying have the players out here bare knuckle fighting neither. You know what I mean? This isn't hockey. But come on, man. Let these guys play, man. There's a foul every other 20 seconds, man. So that's another thing.
I thought Commissioner Eddie would change the 3-point line, you know, move it back a little bit.
Oh, I didn't think about that, man. But the threes are out of control now. It's like they're saying like now that's all you need is a 3-point shot and you could just make it to the league. You know what I mean? What happened to the post-up game, the mid-range game? That's non-existent now. And even the big guys, when would you see Shaq or Mutombo or Ewing shooting threes? Never. Never. So like now the game has changed a lot.
Were you shocked when AD got traded to the Mavericks for Luka?
I think we all were, especially at the price.
I was resetting my phone like this. I was going like this.
Like, is this true?
I'm like, is this real?
Is this real?
When you see Sharms tweeted out there, I mean, I'm like, it's got to be real.
It's got to be real. So, like, here's the thing. I believe if AD wouldn't have got hurt and Kyrie wouldn't have got hurt, they actually had a good shot to go far. Those two together were a problem. But AD's injuries throughout his career, you should already know he's not going to be reliable. And Lakers look like they're looking for the future, present and future, because AD's a great player.
I hope Joker comes to the Lakers when LeBron leaves. I hope he does.
Is that the chatter now? Is that a rumor?
That's a chatter. That's a talk on the streets. And then, you know, Kyrie and Luka went to the finals just last season. So how do you justify that trade? It's just mind-boggling to me. And they got Cooper, right?
But what I can think of is, even though Kyrie and Luka went to the final, like you said, but they're both on-ball players.
Ball eccentric, yeah, on the ball.
You know what I mean?
Correct.
So whereas AD, he's going to get the ball in the post and he's going to go to work. And AD's win right now, whereas Luka's win right now plus the future, because Luka's one of the greatest players now and he's still young. He's in his 20s, so you have a lot of time for him to build. You could build around him. So definitely everyone felt like the Mavericks got hosed on that deal. But at the end of the day, if they weren't hurt, him and Kyrie, I believe they had a chance to compete for a ring.
When's the last time you picked up a basketball? How's your jumper these days?
I wanna say it's not bad, actually. It's not
It's
bad,
not
but
bad. Okay.
it's not bad.
The bank
So
is always open on Saturdays, right? The bank is always
that's
open.
right. A friend of mine actually plays on Mondays, so I would go once in a while on Mondays to open gym run, and I wanna say the last time I went was probably 2 months ago, bro.
Okay.
So
All
it's
right.
every Monday, but I haven't been there in, like, 2 months. And, man, I pick up right where I left off, man. My floater is looking just as nice as always, man. That's my move, man. I cross over and throw that little floater up in the air. Nobody's stopping that.
All
What
right.
about
All right.
yourself, man?
I just mess around a little. I got a court in the backyard, a half court. We do a little dibble dabble. My
So
brother
you shoot
kills
around?
me all the time. Shoot around a little bit, a little horse action, you know what I'm saying? But Rob came over last summer, played a
Yeah?
little horse in the back. Yeah, Rob's good. Rob got a good shot,
Yeah?
man. Got a good lefty
You
shot.
gotta
Yeah,
invite
not
me
bad.
over, bro.
Yeah, we got to figure that out one day next summer, man, for
We can play
sure.
horse
Yeah.
for a bottle of,
All right. All
for
right.
some
We'll
liquor or
we'll figure that
something,
out. All
man.
right, we'll figure.
Let's do it. Well, I'm not gonna
All
lie
right.
though, with those open runs, man, at my age now, man, the next day I wake up sore, bro.
Not old. You're not young anymore.
It
Not a
ain't
spring
like
chicken no more.
it ain't like it used to be, bro, man.
Yeah.
Now I wake up sore, bro. Man, it's always fun, man. I love playing sports my whole life, watching sports, in general, man. That's one of my hobbies. I don't care what it is, man. It's playing football. I get out there, play tackle football on Thanksgiving days. Baseball, I love, I'd mess around with my friends once in a while, but it just doesn't come as often, man. As adults and kids, man, we got busy lives. But I've always enjoyed playing any sport.
He's Eddie Sierra, a longtime friend of mine, joining us on the program today. Giants, man. Giants talk. Been a rough couple of seasons for your Giants, right? You believe in Jackson Dart? Is he the guy?
He's definitely gonna be our guy. Okay. I believe in him. I believe he can manage a game. I'm not coming out here saying he's gonna be Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, neither, because he had a decent game, but he managed the game. He didn't throw an interception. That's what we need. He didn't throw for 350 yards his debut. I think he threw for like 170, 180, had a touchdown, had a few scrambles, so he was looking good. Again, I'm not praising him or anointing him as the next Eli Manning, but I do see a bright future with the kid, man.
He's got some dance move there too, a little Dougie
You
action,
saw
little
that, man.
yeah,
These
I
young
saw
boys
that.
got some swag now, man.
I seen that. I seen that. Yeah, it caught me by surprise. I was like, whoa,
Yeah,
okay,
I was
okay.
actually at the game, bro. So I was there for his debut.
Nice,
Yeah, man,
nice.
that was a great game to
Awesome.
watch. The weather was good, man. It was a fun time.
Can Dable and Joe Shane save their jobs or they're far gone? A little too late.
The only way I see them saving their jobs is if they make the playoffs. That's the only way. If they don't make the playoffs, I don't see them staying with the Giants for long at all. You know what I mean? So let's see, man. It's all up to the owner, John Mara. I know he's a little passive guy. I remember watching the Hard Knocks, and still hard to watch that episode when they were discussing Saquon Barkley.
That was my next question to you. Your take on that? Your thoughts on Barkley to the
My
Eagles?
God, bro. Again, we all got to see it, not live, but just about, because I think it takes them like a week or a few days to edit it. And watching the Hard Knocks and them in the office speaking about what are we going to do with Barkley? Should we let him walk? Do we want to pay him? Who's going to pick him up? The owner, John Mara, said, as long as it's not in our division, he said something about the Eagles. There's chatter the Eagles want to pick him up. He's like, I do not want to see him go to the Eagles. And what do? You give Daniel Jones a contract extension and you let go of the best running back in the league?
To the Eagles, to your rival.
To our rival at
That
that,
just
bro?
can't happen. Can't happen.
Pay the man. Pay the man. And I understand they say running backs come a dime a dozen. You could get one in the fourth round. But Saquon Barkley is generational talent. But in the defense of the Giants, the only thing I could say is, man, look at even with Daniel Jones. If you don't have a good offensive line, your running back, your quarterback, they're not going to flourish.
Means nothing. The guy's
You know what I
balling
mean?
right now. Looks like a whole totally different quarterback in Indy right now.
Exactly. And look at Barkley behind Philly's offensive line. He had such a better season than he did the year prior with the Giants. So, that being said, I'm not going to say he would have won us a championship. But seeing him go to our crosstown rivals, man, and get a chip his first year there.
Yeah. Are you happy?
Man,
Are you happy for Saquon as a fan? You happy for him? You happy for him as a fan?
No, after that, I'm not happy for him at all, man. I don't want to see him get injured, but I wish they would have came in last place, man. I don't want to see him. But he was a class act for his generation, man. He never talked bad about the Giants. He came to work every day. I respect his worth, everything. So all power to him, though.
Big game tomorrow versus the Saints, right? How do you see this one playing out versus the Saints? Your Giants versus the Saints, and how many games the Giants win this season?
All right. First question, the Saints. I feel confident. The Saints, I believe they have a few players hurt. Who's their quarterback right now, if I'm not mistaken?
Spencer Rattler. Spencer Rattler.
Yeah, I don't even know who that is. So I don't see us not winning that game. So I feel good about the Saints. We are playing them, I believe, in New Orleans. But I feel good about that. And now as far as the season going, I mean, this is gonna be a tough schedule, man. We're 1-3 already. 4 games, another 12. We'd be lucky if we go 8-8.
8-8.
Yeah, we already got off to a bad start, man. That Cowboys game, man, that was so tough to swallow because that was really our game to win. And we lost that right at the end. Looks like nowadays every kicker could kick for 60 yards.
The new ball, the new K-ball, man.
Is ridiculous.
A lot of blocks too, though.
Yeah, I seen that as well, which I'm glad.
Yeah.
I'm glad. But yeah, man, I can't expect much just because of the start already. So we'd be lucky to go 8-8, you know. But I see good things for the future.
What would you tell Russell Wilson today?
Russell Wilson, man, I mean, I don't think I need to tell him much because he's a class act in himself. You know, he took the bench and I heard like a man. He's there to mentor the younger players. I knew it was going to be a little, how do I say, maybe difficult for him just because you have 3 quarterbacks that could all be a starter on any team. No, don't forget about Jameis Winston. He was also balling out.
I was thinking this on my last show. I would ask my agent for a trade to the Bengals, right? They got some pieces out there.
Yeah, why not? Like, you have 3 players that could start for any football team. So why are you keeping 3? Why are you QB3 on your team? Never going to see action, and he could be a starter somewhere else. You know, get some value for him. Well, you know, Russell Wilson, I don't need to tell him, man. He's a grown man. He's done a lot in this league already, and he's going to continue to be a mentor, I believe, to Jackson Dart.
Off the top of your head, is he a Hall of Famer in your eyes?
I believe so, yes. He's definitely a Hall of Famer to me. He won, was it 1 or 2 championships? 1, right?
He won 1 with the Legion of Boom. He should have handed the ball off to Marshawn Lynch, but neither here or there. It would have been 2, right?
Again, coaching matters, you know?
Makes it
Can't
easier.
say coaching doesn't matter. So, yeah, I think he's a Hall of Fame player. If Eli Manning's going to be a Hall of Fame player, and I think Russell Wilson should be.
Eli won 2 in New York, though, beating the Patriots. Last name
that
Manning.
was tough. That was
holds
tough.
a little something. And I was saying on my last show, if Russ had won 2, it's kind of argument kind of makes it a little easier for him to get
that's
in,
true because a lot of players have won 1, but it's hard to go back and win a second.
Right. Then he had a so-so run in Pittsburgh, so-so run in Denver. Now with the Giants, so-so. Kind of put a little blemish on his career last couple of seasons.
It did. You know what surprised me, though? Like, I didn't think he had such a great season in Pittsburgh neither, but he made the Pro Bowl as alternate. So when we got him, when the Giants picked him up, I was like, okay, you know, maybe we're onto something. But he is in the end of his career, so I wasn't expecting too much, but at least someone to manage the game. And man, that Cowboys game, he threw over 400 yards.
He did.
He made a bad decision at the end with that interception.
That pick,
yep. But yeah, I mean, hopefully he does, man. He's one of those players again that he's always been a class act, man, for every organization. You know what I mean? So good to him. Good for him.
How do you feel about the NFL tie rule? Games ending in ties. How do you feel about that?
That's bullshit. Oh, my friend. I don't know if I should curse, but I forgot you did tell me I could.
Be yourself, man. That's what we do.
You know, yeah, that's bullshit, man. Who wants to see a tie, bro? That like 12-1-1, or come on, man. That's ridiculous. There should be a winner. So I don't agree with that. How do you feel about now both teams get a chance to score going to like the college thing?
I want something sudden death, something like that, man. These guys are NFL players, grown dudes, big men, like playing 60 minutes, and you got to end the game in a tie after all that. Like,
look at how long the game was taking too doing that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
With sudden death, it's done. You're playing so much more football doing that. So
you got to figure it out.
I think again, it's just the league trying to, bring in more revenue, keep you there longer, whatever it is to generate more money. Obviously they added an extra game not too long ago. So I think it's just to add more revenue.
Right now, 17 games. I'm sure it's going to go to 18 games. Pretty sure.
Mm-hmm.
Who do you hate the most, Eagles or Cowboys?
That's tough, bro. If you would have asked me this a few years ago, I would have said the Cowboys just because they're that team to hate. You know what I mean? I grew up just hating them. You know, they were successful in the 90s. They haven't been so successful since. So I hated them for that. But in the more recent years, it's been the Eagles, man. It's been the Eagles, man. They
Championships
went
in
two
8 years, my
championships in
boys.
exactly 2 championships the last years, in our division. That should be ours. You know what I mean? I feel like the Yankees, I'm bringing up all the whole team. The Giants should be the team on top right now. But yeah, right now, more recently, because like I said, you hate winners. You don't hate losers. There's nothing to hate on. So most definitely I'm hating the Eagles right now.
How do you feel about the tush push?
I mean, you can't be mad at it. It's actually creative and clever. So I feel like fuck it, you just gotta stop it. You know what I mean?
Old school, right?
You
Stop it.
just
If you
gotta
can't
stop
beat
it.
him,
That's it. You don't
right?
like it? Stop it.
To beat a man, beat the man, right? And
Exactly.
now
So
you want to gang up 8 in the box. We can pass the ball outside. We can hand it off to Goddard. We could pitch here to Barkley. So you don't know what's coming right
get
now.
that goal line formation and put a stop to it, man. The same way you blocking field goals and you got someone hitting all the gaps, do the same. Stop it if you don't like it. I don't think they should ban it or anything like that. This is a little annoying watching it, like I said, against a team you hate, making it successful, but stop it if you don't like it.
How surprised were you in the Super Bowl when my Eagles destroyed the Kansas City Chiefs? Were you surprised by halftime?
Me and about 100 million other people that were watching across the globe. Who would have thought that? And even at halftime, I still thought the Chiefs would turn it around.
As a diehard Eagle fan, I'm like, something's gonna happen right here.
Yeah,
I'm tense. I'm nervous. They're gonna come back. They're the Chiefs. They're figuring it out, right? But
man,
wasn't meant
Vegas,
to be.
Vegas won big that day. I'm gonna tell you that, bro, because
Sure.
they shocked the world, not just beating the Chiefs, but by the margin that they beat the Chiefs. Nobody saw that coming, bro. So my hats go off to that, man. I don't know. I felt like that was scripted in some way, man, because that shouldn't have happened. Mahomes is a bad man, and they made him look like he wasn't that day, that given Sunday, man. All my hats go off to them, man. Again, you can hate a team, you can hate a player, but you gotta give them the respect when respect is due. So all power to them, but nobody saw that coming. Nobody.
What's your take on the officiating, NFL officiating? And does Patrick Mahomes get all the calls?
I think the officiating has been horrible lately. I could say that because I can't get fined. The NFL, man, again, man, it's like I was just saying about the NBA. It's like a ticky-tack league now, man. It's football. Let them play. They're calling everything. And I remember, what was it, the first game the Giants played? We got called for like 5 penalties in the first drive. Again, offsides, I cannot, false start, I cannot say that were bad calls. But like when it comes to defensive pass interferences, it's basically anytime you throw a long pass, the ball downfield, most times the wide receiver is going to get it. All he has to do is stop short and then start running again. And then if you're in his way, you're getting that pass interference call. So I think they got to do something about those defensive pass interferences because they're getting too soft with those. And it's basically, you get the ball wherever it happens at. And it's a way to advance every game. So many teams are using that. You just throw a deep ball and get a pass interference call. So the officiating to me hasn't been as great. And also the roughing the passes, bro. That's
Can't even
out of
touch the quarterback.
control.
Yeah,
That's out of
out of
control.
control.
Because
Yeah.
you could look at the TV and say, don't drive into the ground. But when you're ready in the
Coming at
action
full
of
speed.
tackling, coming
Yeah.
at someone full speed, like how do you tell them, just pause or stop short right when you're in the action of tackling? So those roughing up. I understand if you grab him, spin him around, and then throw him on the ground, which we've seen before, that's most definitely a roughing the passer. But like when they calling that too much, and I understand the quarterback is a prized possession of the league. You want to protect them at all costs. But at the same time, bro, come on, man. Like you can't stop a player from just letting go right when they're about to tackle. So that roughing the pass and the pass interferences, I haven't been happy with the officiating. So I guess we could kind of go there about the Patrick Mahomes thing because he's a quarterback. He used to get those, used to get him those calls all the time.
What would you tell Roger Goodell today? Anything you would change about the league?
Well, besides, like I said, all the officiating that's controlling the games and, the NFL being so soft, I don't think I would tell him much besides that. Try to bring the prices down on the tickets, man. Football tickets are the most expensive tickets I've seen, maybe because they have the least amount of games. That might be big. You could get Yankee tickets for $20, but I can't even get nosebleed Giants tickets for $300. You know what I mean? So, that's something that I would tell them, man, try to bring down.
I would help you out. Let me help you out here. Get rid of turf. How about get rid of turf?
Oh,
Right?
I didn't even.
Turf's
It's
horrible.
funny. I was just having this conversation the other day with someone, especially
Yeah,
after
too many injuries,
after
man.
the Malik Neighbors injury.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm upset about that. That's our best wide receiver, on the team. Maybe even our best player on the offensive side of the ball. So get rid of that turf. And it's funny because when I was having this conversation, I actually looked it up and, like, why don't they go to grass? And they were saying, obviously, the upkeep, you have to be watering it, you have to upkeep with it. But the main reason is because of all the concerts they throw. So that, having the real grass, it damages that. And it's hard because, you put the stages on there, you have all that weight, you have the people down there. So it seemed like that's one of the main reasons. And I understand they said they moved to a different type of turf recently, but it's still turf, bro. It's still
Turf is
turf.
still turf, right? Yeah,
You know what I
turf.
mean? So
Just go
definitely
natural
change that.
grass, man.
How many
Natural
teams
grass.
have natural grass?
A couple
A
of
lot
them,
of
not
teams. A
all of
lot
them.
of teams have
Yeah,
natural grass. You know what I mean?
yeah. I couldn't give you the number off the top of my head, but
Yeah.
just
So
make it
yeah,
universal.
most
Make it
definitely,
universal.
man. Change that, Roger Goodell. That was a good one. That was a good one because I was just looking that up after the Malik Neighbors injury about the turf, man. And that's why they're
And
changing the turf for the World Cup. At MetLife.
yeah, 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 for
Because of
sure.
that. Because they weren't even going to come. They weren't even going to come if they had to play in turf the World Cup. That was
Right.
one of the things they had to
The
change.
requirements.
So
Right, right.
keep it after the World Cup, man.
Get rid of turf and the overtime rule. Definitely change that. Figure that out in the off season.
Most definitely. Let's go, Goodell.
What would you tell Jet fans today? Could you sympathize with them? What would you tell them today?
Oh my God. The Jets fans, man, I compare to the Mets fans. They have it.
Similarity.
Yeah,
At
there's a
least the Mets
lot
have
of
won in the 80s, right? Mets won in the 80s at least.
yeah, Jets won one
Jets
in the
back in
70s,
Joe
69 or
Namath.
something,
Joe Namath. Yeah,
We
yeah,
weren't
yeah.
even alive, so
Yeah.
I feel bad for them, man. I always wish them good, the same way like I compare to the Mets, to the Yankees, and when you compare the Jets to the Giants, I feel like they're our little brother. You know what I mean? And you want to see your little brother do good, correct? You want your brother to do good. So I'm not a hater. I feel like they hate on us, and the same with the Mets hating on the Yankees. But they're our little brothers, so I wish they do good. If it ever happened where the Giants were at home and the Jets were in the Super Bowl, I'd go for the Jets to win the Super Bowl. So, I definitely sympathize for them. I feel bad for them, man. It's sad seeing, them just being such a horrible organization every year.
Bad Bunny performing in the Super Bowl. A lot of uproar, a lot of this, a lot of that. How do you feel about it? Latino, how do you feel about it?
I love it. I love it, man. I love it. It has a lot of people excited, and it's actually, I think, going to bring a lot more viewers in than the previous Super Bowls. They might set records because he's such a global sensation right now,
Legend in
and
Puerto Rico. Legend. Worldwide. Legend.
worldwide right now.
Yeah.
And he's going to bring people to watch the game that would have never watched before. So I think it's a good move. There was a lot of backlash. Obviously, most of his songs are in Spanish, so a lot of the viewers aren't going to know what he's talking about. But again, I listen to music in other languages that I don't understand. But if it has a good beat and rhythm, man, I'm up there dancing to it. You know what I mean? So who cares about the words, man?
Let's paint this picture now. If you're Bad Bunny on stage, what are you performing? The first song you're hitting him with next year on that stage.
Oh, that's hard, man. What would be the first song?
Hit him with some
I think,
Chabela. Holla.
yo,
What do you
yeah,
got? What do
that's a
you
good
got?
one.
What do
That's a
you
good
got?
one.
What do you got? What do you
That's a
got?
good one. Era no es nueva,
Okay, okay, okay. I like that.
but he
Okay.
has such a catalog, bro, man. But I think that's a good one that you brought up, actually. We'll see. He might come out to something slow just to build the momentum, you know
Build
what I
the
mean?
momentum up there. Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
just get crazy with it, man. But I'm excited, man. I know a lot of people, like I said, that wouldn't tune in are excited for it. And come on, like we've had to listen to music that's not in our genre, you know what I mean, before. It is what it is. If you don't like it, just man, go take a smoke break, go to the kitchen, get some
Turn it off
nachos,
for a half hour and come back to watch
get
the
some
game, second
nachos
half.
and dip or something and come back, man. I don't see
A
the
lot of
big uproar.
options out there, right? There's
It's
a lot
only
of
what,
options out there.
15 minutes of performance, man. So people are mad, but again, right now we're in a place in America where everybody's against each other. So I'm not surprised But I'm happy for it, man. Good move, Jay-Z.
Who's your top 5 Giants of all time? You got a top 5 Mount Rushmore on your list?
Number 1 is not even a question, baby. LT all the way. Let's go. With the LT earrings, everybody thought was a lightning bolt, but it said LT on it. Man, that guy was an animal, man. So LT's number 1, most definitely. Number 2, gotta go my boy Eli Manning. You know, Eli got us 2 chips, man. He was a fourth quarter comeback king. Man, Eli was a class act, man. Yo, he was something special, man. Those top 2 right there off the bat. Let me see. All right, this is tough because there's certain players, man, like let's say Tiki Barber, which I enjoyed watching him play. But then he talked bad about the organization, you know what I mean? And my boy Eli Manning, and you don't do that. So I don't know if I throw him on there. You know who's also played, it wasn't that long with us, but Jeremy Shockey, man. He was something that he was something out of his world at that time, bro. He was such an animal. He was a beast. He was a different breed, man. You know, like the speed he had plus him running over people was something that was exciting to watch. So his longevity wasn't much on the Giants, and we actually won when he got hurt. And he wasn't too happy about that, but it is what it is. There's so many great players, man. Let me see.
Strahan?
Oh, how the hell did I forget Strahan? He should have been right after LT. And Eli, Strahan, man. Well, I got Michael Strahan, bro. He's been putting in work since the 90s, man. And he finally got his chip in '08, man. Yo, Strahan. And the things he's done after football, most definitely Strahan. So we got for sure Eli, Strahan, LT. I gave those other honorable mentions.
You got Shockey. You got 4.
Let me see. Who else?
Got JPP, OC.
Yeah, those guys are good. I'm not gonna put it. I remember Seahorn. Trying to put it. Was another
Plexiglass, Plexico Burrs.
I like Plexico, man. He was, man, if he didn't shoot himself in the leg that season, man, we would have won back-to-backs. Man, we would have won.
Sure.
We were already like 10 and something or like 11 and something, man. He didn't want to go to Latin quarters and Cheddar Bob himself. But he was there, but I don't think I'm gonna put him. I don't think I'm gonna put him. You know what? Just to go defense. No, you know what I'm gonna put in there? My man Amani Toomer, man. He was a class act.
Amani. Okay.
Amani Toomer, man. Amani Toomer, most definitely, man. He was not gonna outrun all the guys on the field, man. But when you needed a possession, you know what? I'm sorry. I'm gonna put Hakeem Nicks before him. I got Hakeem Nicks jersey. Hakeem Nicks.
Wow.
Hakeem Nicks was a beast, bro. Hakeem Nicks was a beast. He was an absolute beast and an underrated player, man. I'm gonna put Hakeem Nicks there.
No love for Odell? No Odell Beckham?
Nah, man. OBJ. I mean, maybe an honorable mention, man, but he was a little bit of a diva. Obviously, that pass against the Cowboys that night on prime time, man, that was something memorable, and I'll never forget where I was when I saw that. That was probably one of the greatest catches of all time, besides the helmet catch. Yeah, nah, I'm gonna keep him out, man.
Okay.
Yeah.
Shout out to all those people listening, Eddie. You got a big following here. I got a lot of people listening to the show.
Let's go, baby.
Shout out to them, man. the peeps out there in NYC.
New York fan,
showing us some love today. I love it, Eddie. I love it. Thank you. Thank you very much to those listening out there, and for you, Eddie, being on the show today. I appreciate that,
man. Most definitely appreciate you having me on.
Soccer talk, right?
Okay.
World Cup next year. You plan on going? Any games?
Most definitely. You know, I'm excited. We're playing in the Americas. So that means United States, I believe Mexico. And I don't know if they're going to Canada. I'm not sure. But anyways, wherever the case may be, I'm definitely going to follow my team.
Colombia, of course.
Wherever Colombia plays. Hopefully it would be MetLife. I know the final is in MetLife. Wishful thinking for us to get there, but it's going to be very tough. But anywhere they play, I don't care if it's Miami, Arizona, California, wherever they go, I'm going to follow them. I know right now the tickets went on sale not too long ago. Obviously, we don't know where we're going to play up until, closer when they do the actual pool thing. But I'm going to buy the tickets, and if they're playing somewhere else, I'll sell that and buy the tickets to wherever they're going to play. But I'm very excited, man. World Cup comes around every 4 years. It's a lot of games, building up to the World Cup, man.
A lot of teams, a lot of games,
a lot of teams, man. I take a lot of pride in my New York teams. That's the state, I'm from. But again, Colombia is, it's in my blood, man. You know what I mean? So it representing for the country is really big, bro. So I can't wait.
How much you despise Ecuador, Peru, Argentina?
The only one I despise there is Argentina.
Okay.
We've had a rivalry with Argentina in soccer going back to as far as the 80s and 90s, so that's very big. Obviously, they've won World Cups back in their respective days. They won the more recent one against France. I remember that year, which I was rooting for France because they had my boy Mbappe on there, which is one of my favorite players. Argentina, again, they're a great team. They've always been a great team. They won back in the 50s or 60s or whenever it was. I know they have a few World Cups. So I despise them. Peru, I feel sorry for them. They haven't been as good in the recent years or even in the early years. Peru's never been such a great team. And Ecuador, I'm actually happy for them, man. They're our neighbors and they're actually making the World Cup. I think they're actually ahead of us in the standings. The top 6 go now to the World Cup, where before it was only the top 4. But I'm happy for them, man. They were second place to Argentina. It was Argentina first, Ecuador second, Colombia third, as far as the standards for the World Cup, man. So I'm happy for Ecuador. But Argentina, man, no love lost for them, man. I remember, I just want to bring up a memory real quick. They've
Yeah, man.
been a better team, especially when it comes to soccer. Every year that I would go to Colombia, I remember to this day when I go visit my grandma, she has a VHS tape of the 90s. It was the qualifying rounds in the 90s, I think for the 94 World Cup. So the 94 World Cup was held here in the United States. And so this was maybe 93, like the last game, I think, to qualify. And we beat Argentina 5-0, which will go down, as the worst loss they've ever had. 5-0 against an Argentina team that we weren't even supposed to beat. My grandma shows me that VHS tape every time I go visit, and I gladly watch it there
Wow.
with her.
Yeah.
Pull out the
That's awesome.
popcorn,
Yeah.
have a few arepas and colombiana and just watch the games with her. So, man, that's a memory I'll have. And, and they beat us in the Copa America
Right. They
last
did.
final, so.
They're always giving it to you guys, right?
Yeah,
Always
so
sticking it to you
that's a
guys. I
team. That's
remember
the only one I hate out of those 3 countries that you said is Argentina. And they're first place in the qualifying by far 10 points, I think, ahead of every other team, so
they're stacked.
they're
They're
the team to
stacked
beat. They're the team to beat.
for sure. James Rodriguez, can he stay healthy, right? It's like up and down. Like he's 1 minute he's good, 1 minute he's not so good. But when he's money, he's one of the top players in the world.
He's one of those players, like you said, when he's money, he's money. Here's the thing with him. He's never been the most fit athlete. He's never going to outrun anyone. But you don't need that out of your midfielder. You know what I mean? They're more known to distribute the ball. And his passes, man, when he gets them on the money, they're great setups for the other players to go and score a goal or, pass it off for the next guy to score a goal. So he creates a lot. He's kind of like the point guard out there. Like I said, he's not gonna outrun anybody. He's really slow actually. But you know what, man? He especially in the recent years, now he's older, he's learned how to, transition his game into being more of a facilitator and, setting guys up for that goal that we need. So much respect to him.
You root for any other team besides Colombia, La Liga, Premier League? You root for anybody else?
So, our best player is Luis Diaz. Lucho,
Yeah.
we call him.
Liverpool, what happened? Him and Nunez, right? Like so.
Exactly.
Like
So
both of them gone now. Liverpool's not the same
so
team.
I was rooting for Liverpool because of him.
Okay. Okay.
They had that 3-headed monster when it was him,
Yeah.
Salah, and my guy, the
Yeah.
African guy, Mane. Yeah,
Yep.
Mane.
Yeah.
Those 3
Mane.
guys together, when they had those 3 guys, man, they
Forget
were a
about it.
terror, man.
Cooking.
They were cooking.
cooking.
Then they
Yeah.
got rid of Mane or they let him go, whatever the case would be. And then it was just Salah and him. And then they got, then they let him go not too long ago or traded him. And now he's with Bayern. I haven't got to watch so many games with Bayern. They play really early on Saturday mornings. So,
Right.
but yeah, I don't have besides it was Liverpool, but I basically follow Lucho where he goes, but I don't watch the Premier League as much, because again, I'm not up as early sometimes on Saturdays and Sundays to watch those games. And as far as countries go, man, again, I'm a Mbappe fan, so I was PSG for a while. I'm disappointed PSG never got to win a Champions League while they had Neymar and even
Messi was
Messi
on there and
there.
Messi.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They were expected to win when Messi was on there, Neymar and Mbappe. You got those 3 guys, there was like a given and they couldn't make it. And then they won not too long ago without either of those guys.
They won the Champions League without those guys
without
this
either
year.
of those
So like
guys. So that
how
goes to show you
sports is
live.
crazy.
It's
Yeah.
a team game. It's a
Team game.
team, man.
Team game.
So all
Yeah.
power to PSG, and then he went to Madrid, Mbappe. And I follow him a little bit there. I want to say I'm a Madrid fan, but I'm definitely watch their games and root for them because of my boy Mbappe, man. It's filthy.
Visa Barca, man. Visa
Barca?
Barca. Yeah.
Holla Madrid, baby. Holla Madrid. Yeah, man. I gotta go Madrid. Mbappe's my dude, man. He's a young boy. I remember seeing him at 17 playing in the World Cup, the biggest stage with France. And he showed something. He showed something at that age of 17. And ever since, man, I've been following him and been rooting for him, man. So,
when he scores, he does.
yeah, let's see what Madrid do, man. Let's see what they do, bro.
All right, we got it on now. Holla Madrid versus Visa Barca.
Let's go, man.
All right,
I got the jersey. I got the jersey in my closet too, man. Let's go.
Bet. All right. Messi or Ronaldo? Who you got?
That's tough, bro. So tough.
Jordan, Kobe. It's Jordan.
Yeah,
Jordan
like
LeBron, right? It's hard.
That's tough, man. I'm not a fan of neither.
They're both great in their own way, right?
Both great in their own ways, bro. This is a stumper.
For me, Messi was just like more of a team player. He's more of a giver, a passer.
Yes, he is. Where
Ronaldo was more about himself, more of a scorer,
more of a scorer. So you may be onto that. Yeah, maybe I'll go with Messi. I have to go with Messi. The reason I couldn't come up with an answer because I don't know if I want to get ahead of myself, but when people talk about Messi as the best player of all time, I don't agree with that. So I don't know. How do you feel about that?
Yeah, I mean, like there's a lot of generations, right? You have Pele, you have Maradona, all these guys, like all these great,
that we didn't get to really watch, but I kind of watched Maradona.
On the I'm sure your grandma watched some VHS and all that stuff back in the day, like. But for me, what I've seen, Messi's the guy that really got me to soccer. Now I'm up early mornings watching La Liga, Premier League, Serie A, Bundesliga, MLS because of Messi, because I'm a big soccer fan now. I'm like, how did I miss so many years? So for me, Messi's done for me personally as a fan. He's got me into soccer now. Even
and that's
more.
Why you're a Barca fan?
So that Vizca Barca, I watch games before NFL starts or whatever. I'm into soccer. I'm watching all FA Cup. I'm watching Champions League. I'm watching Clasico. I'm watching all these tournaments because of Leo Messi. So for me personally, I'm gonna go with Messi.
Yeah,
not taking anything away from Ronaldo, his greatness.
Yeah, Messi's a great player, man. You're right. I can't take anything away from him. And again, he's the complete package. He had the speed. He could score. He could pass. All power to him. I don't know. Maybe it's the Argentina thing. Got a little hate against him.
A little bias. Argentina bias.
A little hate against him. You know what I mean? But
yeah.
The guy is something special. Definitely top 5 in my list of all time. You know what I mean? I don't know if I'll put him first, but definitely top 5.
What are you looking forward to the most about the World Cup?
I mean, besides Colombia going all the way and winning the championship, just the energy it brings, man. Again, like I was saying earlier, I'm a New Yorker, so I'm rooting for New York, the state. But when you got a whole country where you had different cities in Colombia, Bogota, Medellin, Cali, Pereira, Cartagena, Barranquilla, when you got all these cities and we're all one, bro, it's a different feeling than just one state, you know what I mean, rooting for a team. So when Colombia all unites and I'll go to the restaurants, I'll go to the stadiums, and it doesn't matter what state or region you're from, we're all one, man. So that energy that the World Cup brings is like no other because, again, in our sports, in NFL, MLB, it's just a state thing, it's New York, Cali, Miami. Whereas this brings the whole country together, kind of like how the Olympics do. You know what I mean? We're all just one, man. So the energy that brings, and that it's only 4 years, man, that's what I'm looking forward to. And obviously watching them live, is going to be huge because I've never seen them live in the World Cup. I've seen them live plenty of games, friendlies, even the Copa America, I went to, which I don't even remember half the game because I was celebrating too much beforehand with the aguardiente that we drink. You know what I mean? But yeah, man, just the energy it's gonna bring. It's not something we see too often. It's only every 4 years, so I can't wait, man. I'm very excited, and this is a big stage where a lot of players that aren't well known, they show out. I mean, it was James's big, like coming out party. He was just known to a few fans, and he scored the most goals that World Cup. I believe it was 14, maybe was it? But that World Cup where we lost against Brazil, Era gol de Yepes, how we say that it was a goal that they took away against Brazil. But that was just coming out, man. That goal he had like off his chest, man, that was filthy. So it's it could be a coming out. So let's see who'll be a player that's under the radar and really shows up on the biggest stage, man. I'm excited for that for sure.
You got Colombia in the finals versus who? Who'd you pick?
I don't think we're gonna go to the finals. It's just wishful thinking.
Well, yeah, wishful thinking.
you
Wishful
know,
thinking. Yeah.
but oh man, we have so many great teams. I mean, France is it's always a shoe in there.
England's up there.
Argentina could go.
Spain,
It
Argentina. Yeah.
hasn't been as great as they've been in the past. You know what I mean? Because they did have some heavyweight teams, but they haven't been as great. But I definitely could see either Argentina, France. Let's go Colombia.
Okay. All right. He's Eddie Sierra joining us on the program, longtime friend of mine. Great having him on today. And before I get you out of here, I got some rapid fire questions for you, right?
All
Some
right,
questions I
all
just
right.
thought about, random questions
Okay,
that will
let's
get
go.
you going. And then there's
All
a
right.
shooting here, right? Let's just
All
shoot.
right, let's go.
For somebody that's never been to Colombia, what would you tell them? What's it like over there?
Oh, it's one of the most beautiful countries you ever been to, and I'm not biased, but it's so diverse. Meaning, you could go to the jungles, or you go to the city, the mountains. Colombia has so many different regions, and the number one reason to go is for the food, brother. Oh my God, it's so delicious. Everything is fresh, natural.
That was my next question to you. What's your top 5 Colombian foods? What you got?
I mean, number one, you got to go with the bandeja paisa. You know what I mean? That's our typical dish out there. It's rice, beans, chicharrón, which is fried pork. You get chorizo, which is sausage. You get a arepa. You have your avocado on the side. That's our main dish.
By the way, I heard Venezuela make a good arepas too. They say their arepas is better than your
I know,
arepas
man.
in
You've
Colombia.
heard that, right?
I've heard about it. I don't know. I'm coming to you now, so I want to know what's up.
So you know what? I've had a few of them. They are pretty good. So I don't know if you saw when we beat Venezuela not too long ago.
I saw.
I put arepas are from Colombia. Like we own you guys, you know what I mean? We're the real makers of the arepas. We found it.
Yeah.
So it's always gonna be a debate. But I think we have the best arepas, but maybe I'm biased. You know what I mean? So
Okay.
arepas you always gotta, go with our empanadas. Our empanadas are really good. There's so many dishes. We have some good soups. Our sancocho, which is like a hangover soup that we'll have. They'll throw plantains in there, potatoes, veggies, meat in there, man. So the food out there, bro, is so delicious. And you eat so much and you actually lose weight. Why? Because all the ingredients are natural and fresh, man.
Natural.
Not all this processed food we got out here, man. So a lot of people go out there, they eat so much, whole week or two, and they actually lose weight, bro. So the food is the number one reason, but it's also a lot of sights to see. Man, it's a beautiful country. I recommend anyone to go. And it's safer now than what it was back in the 90s.
What's some Colombian sayings, some slangs in Spanish, and what they mean in English?
Pues, it's like, so what's up? That's one of the things we say a lot. Parce is like my bro. You know what I mean? Like, what's up, my brother? What else? It's a lot of sayings that off the top can't really think of, but, you know, something we say like yo gonorrhea, which in English it means like gonorrhea, but it's just like what's up, punk? You know what I mean? Like we could say it out of love, or we could say like really trying to offend someone. Saying what up, man. It's a lot of phrases, but parce is like my bro, man. Kill parce, like what's up? Like that's one of the main ones we use. So it's a lot of there, but off the top, that's one I could think of a lot that we use.
Old English or Henny? You prefer Oldie or the Henny? What do you prefer?
Henny for sure, bro. That old E, man. That old E, I reserve for the old man sitting on the curb outside the store, man. Not that I haven't tried it.
Why is it always in a paper bag? Tell me, why is it always in a paper bag?
That was because you had to hide it. You know what I mean? You had to hide it, because like I said, that's something they're drinking right in the street in plain sight, man. So they were hiding that.
Okay.
That old E, I remember when I was 16, 17, underage, I couldn't drink, and we'd offer the guy outside sitting drinking one, hey, buy us one and we'll buy you one. You know what I mean? Here.
Right. Yeah.
And so that
yeah.
oldie, I've had it. I'm not saying I'm too good for it, but man, that more liquor, man. I'm good on that. I'd rather drink some Hennessy nowadays.
Is that your favorite drink right now? You go to drink right now? You drink? What do you drink?
You know what? I'm more of a whiskey guy, to be honest with you.
Okay.
I like whiskey. I went through my stages, young in high school. It was like the rum, the Bacardi rum. Then after that, went through the Hennessy stage. Then went through the vodka, the Grey Goose and all that. And now I'm on my like whiskey era, Right now, like whiskey, I could do Buchanan's, which is a lighter one, or if I want to get fancy, I'll do an 18-year, Glenfiddich, a Glenlivet. I could do that. So more of a Scotch whiskey guy right now. That's my thing.
Tim's or Clark's? Which one you prefer? Which one you had back in the day?
Back in the day, I could say I had the Clark's Wallabies in almost every color.
Yeah.
And I want to credit.
Yeah, boy. I had the blue one, I had the gray one, all that.
Man. And I remember back in our day, they would say you couldn't get in the club with sneakers. So when I wasn't going in there with shiny, pointy shoes neither. What was my go-to? The Clark's Wallabies, bro. And I remember the Wu-Tang came out with their own version of it. I never had those, but shout out to them for making Wallabies like even a bigger thing. So back then the Wallabies, but man, I haven't worn Wallabies in maybe 20 years. So right now my go-to are the Timbs, most definitely.
I still got my Timbs from high school, Eddie. I got 2
No
pairs
way.
of Timbs. The black ones and the tan ones. I still got
You
them
gotta
from high
have
school.
those two. That's what I have. The butters, the
Yeah.
wheats, and then the blacks. You gotta have that.
That's
Those
it.
two.
That's
That's
it.
all I
That's
need,
it.
bro. That's all I need, man.
Man. Wave cap or do-rag? Which one you rocking these days or
I'm
prefer?
not rocking neither, but when I had braids
Okay.
back when I was younger, most definitely a do-rag. I had a do-rag to sleep, not to mess up the braids, and I was rocking it under my hat, you know what I mean, my fitted. So it was definitely the do-rag, the Dewey back in the day.
If Biggie was alive today, what would you tell him?
Man, if Biggie was alive, there's nothing I'd want to tell him. I just want to pick his brain and just ask him about, stories, man. Hearing, nowadays all these rappers have the podcast, Nori, Fat Joe, Jada, just hearing stories, man, of when these guys were around each other and just memories of rappers that no longer here. They speak on Tupac, Biggie, Big Pun. I would just want to hear just, stories basically. That's what I would just ask him, man. Just tell me some stories of you being around maybe other rappers, other celebrities.
What's your take on rap today? To be honest.
My first thought, like if this is really rapid fire garbage. But I don't wanna shit on on the whole new generation. Some of the guys have talent. It's just not as lyrical as it was back, back in our day, with the Tupacs, the Biggies, the Mobb Deeps, everybody that was a big pun was so lyrical. That's one of my favorite artists. So now I think it's almost Dr. Seuss rhymes, at this point, bro. So, I'm not listening to new hip hop. So I'll be out the loop, man. Having these guys on Instagram, everybody knows it's so famous. I don't know, bro. Call me the old man, but I don't know who half these guys are anymore, just the biggest guys.
Who's your top 5 rappers of all time?
Biggie, Tupac, Big Pun.
Okay.
So happens those 3 are dead, man. Rest in peace. Kind of want to put Nas, man. Nas is my dude, man. What? Nas is my dude. How to forget Nas? Before Jay, man, I might have to put my boy Jada. That'd be my top 5. Top 5 dead or alive, and that's just off one LP, like Jada said.
Wu-Tang or the Lox?
What Wu-Tang did for the game, man, back in the 90s was so huge, man. They were a global phenomenon. So what they did for hip-hop was a lot bigger than what the Lox did. It was so lyrical, and I don't think it's fair to put 8 guys against 3. But, man, the Lox are something filthy. They're repping for the 914. Shout out the Lox coming out of Yonkers. That's tough, man. Like I said, Wu-Tang was more global. They're a phenomenon. But I got to go with my guys, man, the LOX.
How are you going to remember DMX? Thoughts on him?
One of the greatest to ever do it, man. He's definitely an honorable mention in the top 5. So sad, that he lost his life.
His energy on stage was crazy.
That's what I was just about to get to, man. His energy, bro, was like nothing else. I remember hearing Juvenile speak on it recently. I don't know if you saw that little clip that he had. He said, man, when they had that Hard Knock Life tour, and I still have that VHS tape. I remember they had the backstage, that's what it was called, the documentary they had on the Hard Knock Life. They had Cash Money and Rough Riders. And man, no, I'm sorry. No, the Cash Money Rough Riders was a different tour. The backstage was Rough Riders and Rockefeller, I believe. But even Jay said it. He said, man, when X would come out and he would get into his prayers or he'd start barking and be like, and you hear that growl, man, the energy he brought to the stage was something else, man. That was like a once in a generation rapper, man. I don't think you'll ever see someone like X, man. Rest in peace, man. It's unfortunate, man, that he passed at a young age, but man, he's one of the greatest to ever do it, man. Shout out to the boy X.
What season you hate the most? Fall, winter, summer, or spring?
Winter for sure, without a doubt, man. I hate the cold as a New Yorker. Um, most people can't believe that, but man, that's what had me thinking of moving down south a few years back. I love New York
I
to
can't
the
stand
death,
the winter.
bro. I'm a New Yorker, but that snow, man, I can't stand it. It's fun when you're a little kid. Yeah, let's play the snow and everything. We're out of school. We're done with school. I mean, you get a day off. Let's play in the snow. But as an adult, bro, when we have real life responsibilities, I don't want to drive in the snow. I don't want to have to move my car and have to put on layers of clothes. You know what I mean? So definitely winter out of here.
Last time you went trick-or-treating?
My son's 17 years old. I can't even remember when was the last time I went trick-or-treating, man. Maybe 6, 7 years ago, bro. It's been a
6,
while.
7 years ago?
Yeah, it's been a while, man. But now my stepkids are youngin', so this might be the year that I continue back up. So you might see me out there with a little mask on or something.
Who's taller, you or your son? That boy growing fast, man.
Yo, he's definitely taller than me, man. He's definitely taller than me. I'm
Wow, that's
5'7".
crazy.
He might be about 5'9", and he's 17. Who knows? He probably still grow. So his mother's short, but I know her side of the family is pretty tall, like all the guys. So maybe he gets it from her. But yeah, he's definitely gonna pass me. He's actually at work right now, man. That kid is a hustler.
Wow, good for him, man.
Yeah.
Good for him. The dating game, why is it so hard to date these days?
I blame social media. Be honest with you, bro. There's so many options, man. It's temptations. Nothing is real. Everything is a facade. It's hard. Everybody's chasing the wrong things nowadays, man. So I think, I would blame social media, man. It's just everything is a facade. A lot of things are fake. You see all these things, you expect all these things from people, and none of that shit is real, bro. So I think that. Plus, people have a lot of ulterior motives, man.
You had a good run at Cheesecake Factory, right? Who hired you and the last time you had a cheese meal? Those are real, by the way.
Yeah, what? I've had a lot of them, bro. Don't get me wrong. Who hired me? Bro, it's been so long ago, I couldn't even remember, man. I don't know, was
Was it
Maribel or
Maribel,
JR? Either
JR?
Maribel
Okay,
or
one of the
JR,
two.
man. Shout out to
Okay,
them, man.
for sure.
Maribel brought me back, man, too. So shout out to her. But I can't remember as far as the cheese meals go, man. The last one I had, I want to say was maybe about 3, 4 months ago. They'll happen every few
Man,
months, you know what I mean? Maybe because I haven't been there.
PTSD,
I
huh?
haven't been there recently, but when I was
Okay.
there actually working, they were happening like every week. But it's just, yeah, and they just start off like on any other slow day, and you're just in the weeds and running around. This person wants that person wants that. You spill a drink. It's just madness. And I remember I wake up like, oh shit, oh, I missed something. And then I wake up and I'm like, oh, no. All right, cool. I was just having that cheese man. So those used to happen all the time, but now they come less because it's been a long time since I've been with the company. Shout out to Cheesecake though.
Cheese pizza or pepperoni pizza? What do you
Pepperoni
prefer?
pizza. Got a doubt, man. Give me some of that. Give me some of that pepperoni on there for sure with chili flakes. Nowadays, that hot honey and some Parmesan
Yeah, hot honey's
cheese.
fire.
That hot
Fire.
honey
Yeah.
is good, bro.
Yeah.
The
For
Cheesecake
sure.
had
It does hit.
something like that on their menu, no?
Yeah, we do. Yeah, we do.
Okay.
You could put that extra
I
hot
have to
honey on
try
there for sure.
cheesecakes, man.
How do you eat your steak? What's the temperature got to be like?
Medium. Gotta be medium. I like it pink. Don't give me no bloody rare, black and blue. But I don't want it well done either, man. That well done, people. I don't know how you get that dry as a steak out, man. It's like a hockey puck, bro. How do you eat well done steak? And I understand. Look, in the Spanish culture, we grew up like that. Everything well done. Back in our countries, there was a lot of bacteria, so you had to like overcook the food, especially pork. You know what I mean? To make sure you killed all the bacteria. But yeah, actually, after working in restaurants and before Cheesecake, I worked at country clubs, which, is fine dining. Man, them rich folks, they love their rare meats. So I tried it, and yeah, I couldn't go as far as rare, but I'll do medium, give me some pink. What about yourself?
I like a well done, man. I like well
Really?
done. I don't know what it is.
I thought you were the
Yeah,
opposite. I thought you were a rare guy. I
nah,
said this
I
guy
like my
Kenford's
well done,
bougie,
man.
man. I said he's bougie. He probably eats rare steaks, man.
Nah, I like my well done, man. I
Really?
like my
Well
well done.
done?
Hockey puck. It's all
Oh,
me,
that's
man.
you?
All me. Love it.
Dang,
Love it.
that's crazy.
Some steak sauce on there, chopping it
Man.
up.
Some A1?
Some A1,
Okay.
barbecue sauce, a
What's your
burger or steak.
what's your
Yeah,
favorite type of steak?
I like a filet. I love a filet. I've been eating filet sliders recently now from Stuart Leonard's. Really, really good. Filet
Really? I gotta try.
sliders, really good. Yeah, Stuart Leonard's, man. If you've never been, go.
Yeah, yeah,
Definitely
yeah.
go.
I gotta
Yeah.
try. I shop at Whole Foods.
They got ribeyes, they got fillets, they got New York strips, all that stuff there.
I
Yeah,
gotta try.
definitely.
See, the filet is
Yeah.
one of the most tender steaks that there are,
Very tender.
but
Yeah.
to me, it doesn't have the flavor that other steaks have. You know what I mean? You have to add a little more seasoning to it, but it's very tender. It's a good steak.
Right. Tough question. Shakira, or Carol G? Who you got?
Damn, that's tough. My girl probably killed me for this, but I'm gonna say Shakira, man. I grew up on Shakira, man. Those hips don't lie, man. Those hips do not lie, man. What's wrong with the brother PK, man? What's wrong with this guy? The hips don't lie. Let's go with Shakira. But right now, Carol G, she's a global phenomenon. She's putting on for not just the culture, but for Colombia as well. You know what I mean? The biggest star, I think, right now coming out of Colombia, besides, J Balvin, which was, really huge as well before her. But Carol G, she's huge, man. I'm proud of her success, man. And shout out to her, but I'm gonna go with Shakira. Those hips don't lie.
Sure. Super Bowl pick, right? Who you got? Did I ask? I'm not sure if I asked you, but who you got?
No, didn't. You know what? It's early in the season, man, to predict. And the teams that you thought were gonna be strong aren't really doing it. Look at
Things can flip right away. Yeah.
look at the Chiefs. The Chiefs played with the Ravens. They were
2-2 right
both one
now.
and three. They were both 1-3. Chiefs and Ravens, which would be my favorites. You know what I mean? Usually. So I'm gonna go with the Buffalo Bills.
Bills in the
I'm for
East, and
Buffalo
then
Bills, man. That's a team I'd root for. I'm as a New Yorker.
Okay.
I'm a Giants fan, but hey, they're part of New York too. So they're in the Super Bowl. I'm taking them over.
You got Eagles running it back, or Eagles not running it back this year?
Eagles, what's their record right now? I don't pay mind to
4-0.
4-0?
4-0.
Oh, they
4-0, yeah.
definitely at least make the NFC Championship game at minimum.
Okay. That's fair.
Not running back though. That hate gotta come out.
Before we get you out of here
Yeah.
today, it's been great having you on, by the way.
Thanks for having me, bro.
What would you say? A lot of things going on in the world right now, right? I'm not getting political or taking any sides here. What would you tell humanity right now? A message to humanity as a whole. What would you tell humanity right now, today?
Man, love your neighbor. You know what I mean? Just love your neighbor, respect each other, man. All that, like you said, all that political, all that I hate you because you're this side or that side, man, without even knowing the person, man. Love thy neighbor, man. That's what I'm gonna say, I call everybody I see in public my brother, you know what I mean? Because we all are, I think, brothers and sisters, basically. So, to humanity, man, just stop the hate, man. There's no reason for that, especially if you don't know the person or they've done nothing to you, man. Let's just, respect each other, man, and love, bro. All love.
Well said. Spread love, not hate,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Hey, this was fun, man.
Most
Short notice, you
definitely,
coming on the
man.
show today. This was great,
This is
man.
the
Let's chop this up
this is the
again.
most we ever got to chop it up talking sports. Besides,
Ever. And I've known you forever,
I go
right?
to
We never got a chance to
Cheesecake,
sit down and talk.
we have our
We're always
little
busy, right? We got our thing, we got life going on,
For
but we never
sure.
had a chance to sit down and, communicate a little bit, chop it up a little bit.
Yeah, when I see you in Cheesecake, it'll just be a, quick, fly equals
Yeah,
fly,
hi and goodbye.
a little
Yeah,
shot I'll
yeah.
take here and there, but you're busy working,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
we haven't had time to chop it
Sure.
up, man. But we're both
Right.
very into sports, as you can tell, we're both knowledgeable, so we definitely got to talk about it again, man. I'm down to come back on here. Maybe you
Let's go
person
Yankees.
together, we
Yeah,
can
we'll
have a
figure it
little,
out.
we
We'll
could have a
figure it
little
out.
group
Yeah,
thing. Let's go Yankees.
sure.
What time's the game today? 3:00, right?
4:08 pitch.
4
4:08
o'clock?
first. Yeah,
All
4:08
right,
first
man.
pitch.
Well,
Any shout outs you want to give to the audience out there? You got a lot of fans, Eddie. I
yo,
see it right
let's
now in the
go.
chat. You got a lot of fans out
Shout
there,
out
man.
to my Cheesecake people, you know what I mean? Whoever's watching there, I go back. There's a lot of new faces, but shout out to everyone there, you know what I mean? Shout out to all my bros. They know who they are. So shout out to my girl too. She wasn't into sports, but now I got her watching and being a New York fan just like, I am. So let's go, man. Anyone else that was showing love out there, man, shout out to y'all, man.
Sure.
Respect.
Hey, hope you guys enjoyed the show. Thanks for listening. I'm Kenford. He's Eddie. We got a game to watch. Let's go Yankees, chasing 28.
Let's go,
Let's
baby.
see what it is.
Yankees,
Eagles
baby.
play tomorrow.
Let's go, Kenford.
Eagles trying to go 5-4, try 5-0.
I better see you at the parade this year, man.
Let's do it, man. Let's do it, man.
Playing.
For sure.
Let's go, Yanks. Yanks tape.
Appreciate it.
Yanks tape. Knicks tape. Let's
Yanks
go. Let's go.
Let's go, brother, Yankees. Let's
fun,
go.
bro.
Stick around. Don't go anywhere. He's Eddie. I'm Kenford.
Fun.
We are out. Enjoy your day.
Peace, y'all.